Hello and back to Vada. My name is Beast. Today we're back with more Onigokko. There's supposed to be a Tsujido-san video today, but Scott was kidnapped for Thanksgiving, so not much we can do. Anyways, we're now back to piggyback riding Akari after being an asshole by virtue of cliffhanger, you know? Anyways, I'll let you down if you think you can walk on your own. That idiot, don't talk like that. You're gonna make me feel self-conscious. Ah, boy, why did things turn out this way anyway? Why had things turned out this way? Still, the double whammy of Momotaro's softness and warmth against my back felt wonderful. Not to mention I couldn't get enough without wafting aroma of shampoo coming off her hair. You know, I happen to touch you right now is basically an accident, so bear with me. Akari gave me a firm nod. I never thought the day would come that I'd give a girl this beautiful a piggyback ride home. As at this moment, I truly had a fulfilling life. God, ancestors, thank you so much. I was busy feeling enraptured by Akari's touch. I suddenly hear her sniffing behind me. What's up?
Keisuke, 男の子の匂いがする。
Do I stink? I do take baths every day.
嫌な匂いじゃないの。お父さんみたいな、いい匂い。
I see. Well, that's good then, I guess. You smelled nice. That just might be the first time anyone's ever said that. I mean, girl this close and hearing her relaxed tone of voice made my heart melt. Sleep breathing. Akari?
お父さん。
Sleep talking, huh? There's a gentle strength beyond those arms wrapped around my collar. See, she must have loved her old man a lot. Must have been extremely mortified to have her father killed by the Tsujigomo. It made sense why she always rushed into everything. Seeking her revenge was a bit disturbing, but I wanted to do whatever I could for her. I wanted to make her smile much more. I see, sleeping on an Oni's back of all things. Talk about a troublesome Momotaro. I was surprised by myself at how tender the words I unwittingly whispered came out. Look, we're here, sleepyhead. We reached the women's dorm at last. I gently rocked her on my back, but she didn't show any signs of waking up. With little other choice, I softly set Akari down, leaned to her shoulder, and managed to stand her upright.
ここどこ?
In front of your dorm?
何時?
It's almost 7 o'clock.
そっか。
Akari must have still been half asleep. She murmured that in a less than clear voice, and then...
お父さん。
Whoa! Her body was glued right up against me as she clung around my neck. Hey, wake up, Akari! That tickles, but it feels so good! Are you awake this time?
Keisuke?
I am indeed Keisuke.
私寝ちゃってたの?
Oops, she was about to apologize as well. Once Akari came to her senses, she released my arm and backed away. The sudden loss of her body warmth, warm body heat made me feel lonely. Then, with no time to get lost in those foreign emotions, Akari fell over. Oh, I see, your legs still aren't functioning right. Want me to walk you to the door?
もう大丈夫.
Akari took my outstretched hand and picked herself up. She patted the dust off her and stood up normally. She looked okay now.
ごめんなさい。迷惑かけたわ。このお礼はするから。必ずするから。
Well, it was a nice perk for me too, so it's honestly fine.
約束って。思い出したらすっごく恥ずかしくなってきた。でも、私のために頑張ってくれたのは確かだし。
Like I said, it's fine. My precious friend was in trouble. I can at least lend a hand anytime. She seems slightly disappointed at the friend thing again.
今度ケイスケが困ってたら私が手を貸すから。
Sure, I'll be counting on you when that day comes.
今日はありがとう。じゃあおやすみなさい。
An embarrassed Akari made her way into the dorm and wished me good night over her shoulder. Yeah, I didn't need any thanks. I'd had a fantastic time with her. Faintest traces of Akari's warmth and softness lingered on my back. It was beyond enough of a reward. Alrighty then. Kept on grinning outside the women's dorm forever. I definitely started to look suspicious. Wasn't in a great mood today, so maybe I should head to the supermarket and pick up a nice lunchbox or something for myself. Then, as I chiefly turned in the direction of my dorm... Was it from Akari? Nope, oh wait. I had a bad feeling about this. Hello, what's up?
お兄ちゃん、あかりさんをおんぶしてきたみたいだけど、どういうことかな？
She fell asleep during training, you know. Wait, oh wait. That means you were watching us, weren't you? I quickly looked up at Aoi's room, and sure enough, she was there, plastered to the window pane. Actually, yeah, wasn't this something straight out of a horror?
それで何の修行かな？
There's a chance we're being tailed by the fake Ura. Akari didn't notice and was frustrated, so I was teaching her how to sense presences.
それでなんで倒れるの？
That's what I want to know!
お兄ちゃん、しばらく弁当抜け！
Hey, hold on a second, Aoi. Making a young man with a hearty appetite go without lunch? That's cruel.
知らない。あかりさんにあーんしてもらえばいいでしょ。
At least spare the food budget, please.
え、なに？聞こえない。
Hey! Snake! Snake! Shit! Are you telling me to starve to death, little sister? Curtain in Aoi's room flapped shut. Why was this happening to me? Oh well, guess I could get by with just instant ramen and snacks for a while. I'm starving. My morning started off on a bad note when I woke up hungry. Checked my clock and saw it was 6 a.m. Another hour to go until my alarm was set to go off. Last night I ultimately ended up diving into my instant ramen stockpile for dinner. I was grateful that it was simple and cheap, but it never did fill you up. Now that I was on strike, I need to be mindful of my spending and food budget. Ugh. Crap, now I was starting to get hung sober on top of it all. Either way, I wasn't gonna get anywhere unless I had a drink immediately after waking up. Took some Yukino Sakura out of the fridge, poured it into a glass, and chugged it down. That's the stuff. I'm alive again. Couldn't get enough of the ice-cold chill tingling down the back of my throat. It was stirred in the glass was fantastic. Still, it was great that alcohol was delicious and provided calories, but the huge drawback was it did nothing to satisfy my hunger. Oh, could be this early. Wait, Akari? Hey, morning, what's up?
おはよう。よかった。もう起きてた？
Yeah, I've been getting up early lately.
いいことね。で、今寮の前にいるんだけど、よかったらジョギングに行かない？
Oh, a jog. Probably get worn out midway through if I went on a jog right now, but this was the sort of invitation I've been looking forward to. Even if I were to go buy something to eat, there was still time until stores downtown opens, so it would probably distract me better than lying around here.
だね。
Nah, I've actually been looking forward to it. The weather's nice too, so I'd love to go. I'll be right out, so just give me a minute and I'll be down. I pulled out a jersey, quickly got changed, and left my room. I'd feel bad if I kept the girl waiting for too long. Sorry to keep you. Oh, what's that? Akari was waiting outside the dorm room, looking pretty bored with a tiny bag on her back that I didn't remember seeing before.
走るときはお財布とか小物をこういうバッグに入れると楽だから。
Makes sense. Yeah, as a man, I didn't think she'd ever had something like that on her when I tagged along with her on her jogs before. Shall we then? plot twist she put on the backpack because it makes her feel like she's being hugged from behind again. Going on a morning jog through the city was nice. Chilly air felt great against my flushed skin too.
そうだ、昨日早速修行の成果が出てるような気がしたのよ。
Really? Don't tell me the fake Udo showed up after I dropped you off last night.
だったらよかったんだけどね。ケイスケと別れた後、部屋に入るときに誰かに見られてると思って振り返ったら、葵ちゃんがじーっとこっちを見てたのよ。
Really?
なんか妙に機嫌悪そうだったんだけど、別に何でもありませんって。
Well, I totally picture how that scene played out. I'm sorry my little sister was terribly rude to you.
何もされてないわよ。でもその後隣の部屋から「お兄ちゃんの浮気者!」って葵ちゃんの声が聞こえてきたけど、喧嘩でもしたの？
That's something of a disease that flares up from time to time, so you can just ignore
そ
it.
れとしばらく弁当抜きなんだって。
Oh, you heard that too? Talk about a harsh punishment for a growing boy. Always in charge of managing all our living expenses after all. Sorry, my stomach's terribly rude.
お腹空いてるの？
Yeah, I guess. All I had yesterday was instant ramen.
そっか。ねえ、ちょっと公園寄ってかない？
What about our jog, you sure?
いいからこっちこっち。
With an invigorated smile, Akari tugged at my sleeve as I walked into the park. The park was completely deserted in the morning and felt wonderful just to walk around with the crystal clear, brisk air.
あ、そこのベンチに座りましょう。
Wonder what are you planning? Akari giggled, set down her bag, and pulled out a little bundle wrapped in tinfoil.
はい、これ。お腹空いてるんでしょ？
Yeah, I know, it's warm. What's in it?
出かける前におにぎり握ってきたの。口に合うといいんだけど。
Oh, for real, are you a goddess?
大げさね。私も朝ごはんまだだったし、一緒に食べましょう。
Woohoo! Akari, I love you!
もう変なこと言わないの。
Oh, onigiri, onigiri.
もう。はい。
As I cheerfully tore open the foil, she handed me a moist towelette.
先に手拭いておきなさい。お腹壊しても知らないわよ。
No, thank you. You're so thoughtful, Akari. After wiping down both hands with the towelette she gave me, I got back to opening up the packaging. Fantastic aroma of freshly cooked rice and seaweed emanated from the onigiri as poked out of its package. Oh, it smells delicious.
走ってたからちょっと形がいびつになっちゃった。ごめんね。
No, it looks a million times better than Aoi's onigiri. Hers look like rocks. Hers are like rocks.
こらこら、人の料理にそこまで言わない。
Reminds me, I actually finished watching a series on God of War Ragnarok. Literally just now, like a few minutes before starting the recording. And I had heard that apparently a lot of people supposedly were upset by the ending. And I don't fucking get it. Like, are they just big old fucking babies? Or is there something I missed? Because it seems perfectly fine as far as I'm looking at it. Quite good even. Anyways. Akari giggled aloud even as she said that.
中身は梅とおかかだけど平気？
Yeah, I'm not picking. Okay, attempt it again. This is. Freshly cooked rice had a soft yet full texture. Superb seasoning. She must have used fresh seaweed as the aroma of the seaside really came through. The sweetness of the rice was also spread through my mouth with every bite.
どうかな？
Wait a second. Took aim at the bonito garnish, which had popped up amidst the rice, and took another bite. Yeah, the flavor of the salty sweet flakes matched the rice perfectly, as did the flavor of the slight fragrance of median and white sesame. These small yet extra touches were truly fantastic, helped in part by my empty stomach. I had the entire piece in a daze. Yeah, delicious. Really delicious Akari. Let's see, the other one is pickled plum. Thick shredded plum. The invigorating flavors and acidity of plum and cheese were completely soaked into the white rice. No excess sweetness nor odd seasonings. You could bring out flavors like this. You couldn't bring out flavors like this unless you did the pickling yourself. Did you make this pickled plum yourself by any chance?
毎年漬けてるの。一度これに慣れちゃうと、お店の梅干しになんか違和感出ちゃって。
Yeah, I totally get you. My mom pickles them too, so I completely agree. Yeah, it is great.
ありがとう。口にあったみたいでよかった。あ、そうだ。お味噌汁飲む？
Miso soup? You have that with you too?
あるの。
Akari poured some miso soup out of her thermos. Warm steam coming off the top made my mouth water. Thanks for the food. Except for the piping hot miso soup. Oh, tasty. This has a rich flavor. I can tell it's using skipjack tuna stock, but that's not all, right?
干し椎茸とか煮干しとかいろいろブレンドしてるの。
That probably took ages. It tastes even better than what my mom makes.
褒めすぎよ。
Ah, Bashful Akari really was the best. I scarfed down the onigiri and the hot miso soup. Man, this was the life. Thank goodness I was born in Japanese. Thank goodness I was born Japanese. As I gulped down the remaining piece of onigiri, I slurped up the rest of my miso soup when...
昨日はごめんなさい。
Akari's shoulders shrunk and she looked oddly dejected. Let me think, had she done anything wrong worth apologizing for? I had to pick something. Oh, do you mean for the piggyback ride? You've got nothing to apologize for. Didn't I tell you that getting to carry a cute girl around was actually more of a perk for me?
もうからかわないでよ。
All you did work your butt off yesterday. Not only did you go out on patrol, but you also underwent some pretty intense training. You're even showing some decent results too. Not that bad. You really are tenacious. Maybe I could even call you a hardworking genius when it comes to things like this.
そうかな。
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. You've made so much progress in only 2 days. It took me about a week. And yeah, that's just how hard you tried. Even if you were too worn out to stand at the end, I still acknowledge your endurance.
ありがとう。
The way she fidgeted in place so shyly. Damn it, it was cute! Was she cute? I found myself wanting to pet her all of a sudden. Oh, but I couldn't. If I did, I bet you'd get mad at me like last time.
お味噌汁まだあるけど飲む？
Yes, please. Slowly sipped on the miso soup she poured for me. Its steady warmth flowed throughout my body. I'm expecting like dumb offhanded comment about wanting to eat it every morning. Thanks for the food.
お粗末様でした。
Delicious onigiri and tasty miso soup had happened across an unexpectedly extravagant breakfast. I was grateful to Akari. Oh, though, Akari was living alone and working part-time, huh? I was in the same boat, living on my own. I understood painfully so how important a food budget could be. Akari, I'll pay you back for the cost of ingredients later.
いらない。
But you've got it pretty rough too, don't you?
いいの。今までのお礼。あと、もう少しトレーニング続けてもらいたいし、気になるならその授業料だと思ってもらえればいいわ。
I was never gonna charge you, and I definitely didn't do it because I expected anything from you.
ケイスケの時間を使ってることには変わりないでしょ？
Well, no, but I was the one who wanted to go out on patrol and so forth with you.
じゃあ、美味しかったって言ってもらえたのが嬉しかった。それだけで満足。これじゃあダメかな？
It kind of made my heart pang, but I see. I guess I'll call that a deal then.
ありがとう。
The mild sea breeze rocked Akari's bang. Quiet yet comfortable stillness filled the area. It was a pretty nice mood we had going. This was a pretty nice mood we had going.
ね、ケイスケ。
Yeah?
しばらくお弁当 抜きなのよね。
Yeah,
じ
probably.
ゃあ私に作らせてくれない？
Really? Are you sure?
すごい反応ね。
Oh, I hated myself for getting lured in by food and reacting like that. But are you really sure about this?
一人分作るのも二人分作るのも手間は変わらないし、それにいつも付き合ってくれてるお礼がしたいから。
Sure. This was probably the part where I should be modest, but I won't be able to eat Akari's delicious meals. Nothing could make me happier. Got it. In that case, I'd really appreciate it. Grabbed Akari's hand without thinking and expressed my gratitude to the goddess that had lighted upon me.
お弁当くらいで大げさね。
Whoops.
喜んでくれてるついでにお願いがあるんだけど。
What is it? I'll go along with basically any request right now, you know?
ね、昨日のことみんなには内緒にしててほしいんだけど。
Yesterday, you mean training?
昨日帰って思い返したんだけど、私すっごい恥ずかしいことを言ってたような気が。
Something embarrassing.
もっとギュッてして。ケイスケ、あったかいよ。
Akari's face tinged crimson. I couldn't help but feel bashful too.
たまらないでよ。
Yeah, got it. But well,
何？
I can't believe you clung to me and reacted that way. Do we have some sort of unique tastes or something?
ない絶対ない。本当に私あの時どうなっちゃってたんだろう。なんか自分でもおかしくなってた自覚はあるんだけど。
Well, it did seem to help out with training, so what's the harm? It was sexy too.
よくないわよ。
I'm gonna stop doing that from now on.
あれはあれで必要だし続けるわ。
Got it.
じゃあ今日はもう戻りましょう。お弁当作らないといけないし。
Sure, sorry about this. Thanks, Akari.
いいの。
Akari looked like she was in an oddly good mood and shook her head with a smile.
よし、それでは委員長、号令を頼む。
起立。
Second Akari finished speaking, the classroom was filled with hustle and bustle you'd expect at lunchtime. Some of my classmates dashed out of the room to buy bread from the school store, but I was able to relax today.
ケイスケ、お昼行こっか。
Yeah.
いらっしゃいませ。
It's always a fucking coin flip. Are they gonna do it at the fucking committee room or on top of Rashomon? When we arrived at the committee room with Kana and Kumakichi in tow, Ultima was already quietly seated. There was no sign of Aoi or Kureha. But again, Kureha only came around when Aoi dragged her along, so she probably wouldn't be here today. Senpai, you're always here so early.
泳ぐ人はすぐ腹ペコさんになっちゃうんですよ。
That makes sense, so I'll try to get here sooner next
あり
time.
がとうございます。それではいただきましょう。
Senpai began to excitedly unfurl her bundle of lunch, and the rest of us followed her lead. I flicked a quick glance over at Akari and she discreetly handed me a container of food with a sweet smile on her face.
はい、ケイスケ、約束の。
Oh, thank you! Lock on! The lunchbox was surprisingly heavy and only made me more excited to dig in and sedate my rising hunger. After quickly unwrapping the package, I found two medium-sized lunchboxes inside. I promptly set them side by side and opened them up. Oh, this is amazing! One of the boxes was filled with rice. It had a light sprinkling of sesame salt over it and was really elegant. And the box of side dishes, there were some old standbys. Dashi omelet, Kimpira-style sauteed burdock, and rapeseed blossom and mustard sauce for green garnish. I assume that you just pronounced that rapeseed because I don't have any other like example to go off of. That's a very weird scene right there. And like always, lunchboxes, it was colorful and beautiful. Oh, there are some side dishes I'm not familiar with here.
こっちはソーセージの春キャベツ巻き。茹でたキャベツにマヨネーズとからし塗って魚肉ソーセージに巻くの。あ、マヨネーズ苦手だった？
No, I like it. I'm the kind of guy who has to have it on his takoyaki and okonomiyaki where it feels like something's missing.
よかった。で、こっちが簡単キャベツシューマイ。シューマイの具をキャベツで巻いたの。
Reminds me of spring. It's nice.
本当にすごい。あかりちゃん頑張ったんだね。綺麗で実に美味しそうですね。ケイスケには最近ちょっと世話になってるからそのお礼なんです。人に食べさせるものですし、ちょっと気合い入れてみました。
Oh, sorry about the Zakri. It looks like I ate up a lot of your time.
いいのよ。お礼なんだから気にしないで。
Akari gave an amused laugh as she opened her own lunchbox. As usual, lunch was on the large side, but she didn't have the rice or side dishes separated. She must have figured I'd be hungry and was being considerate of me. I could cry! Okay, time to begin. I'd gotten to try the dashi omelet a short while ago, so today I decided to give the cabbage shumai a shot. Oh, sweet as a cabbage, mommy of the meat filling. Not to mention the savoriness of the sesame oil was enough to move me to tears. Then a bite of rice. Yep, tasty. I naturally broke into a grin. Yep, delicious. You really are a great cook, Akari.
よかった。
Your childish giggle was oddly charming.
そういえば偽裏の件だけど、何か進展はあったかい？
残念ながら私と兄様の方では何もありませんでした。私も何かあったという話は聞いていませんね。あ、つけられたといえば一昨日誰かに尾行されてたのよね。身のこなしから言って多分本物か偽物の裏だと思う。
I like how they're all sitting there like you couldn't have mentioned that earlier. You hadn't told them yet!
やれやれ。そんな重要な情報がどうして今頃になって出てきたのか。
Mikichi was being unusually respectable through his confusion. Yeah, I know how he felt.
ごめん、つい。さすがはうっかり侍ですね。ケイスケさん、あかりちゃんは見ての通りのうっかりさんですから、これからもフォローよろしくお願いします。
まったくだ。君だけが頼りだよ、ケイスケ。
ふつつかな子ですが、よろしくお願いしますね。みんなひどい。私うっかり侍じゃないもん。もう笑わないでよ。
Yeah, I'll be with you every step of the way. Everyone's counting on me after all.
うっかりじゃないもん。
I couldn't help but grin when I saw how cute she was when she sniffled and slowly munched on her food. Aki and I went out on patrol again today. We walked around town looking for whatever clues we could find and searched through a few places, like abandoned buildings or run-down houses. The Fakuda would likely use as a hideout. It was his modest, straightforward job. It ain't much, but it's honest work. It was fine as long as I could be with Akari. I'd never get sick of it either.
今日も途中で森に寄りましょう。もう少しで物にできそうな感じがするの。
Sure, we've got this. Akari nodded firmly and smiled sweetly up at me. Was it just my imagination or had the way Akari smiled kind of changed recently? She had gotten softer than before, or more genuine. This just might be Akari's au naturel state. Okay, what's gonna ruin it? Come on.
そこ。
I guess I could have just used. You could have just done the piggyback scene and then used that as the thumbnail then. if give me the opportunity to just reuse this one.
後ろ木の上にいるのは鳥よね。ケイスケはそっち。
Start things off for the day, we did a review of last time. Astonishingly, Akari seemed to have gotten the hang of everything we'd done up until that point. Not to use a series of dirty looks as a catalyst before, but she was making incredible progress in such a short amount of time. Surprised you're nailing it almost every time. Impressive.
そっかな。
Done so much better. I knew I could do it.
きっかけをつかめたらなんか感覚でわかるようになった感じがするの。じっと誰かに見られてると見られてるあたりがチリチリするような感じで。
Yep, that's the feeling. Don't forget the sensation. That was the moment. Tingling sensation of the nape of my neck. Someone was watching. Akari must have noticed as well. She gazed at me with a serious look. I discreetly hold up 3 fingers to signal Akari. Then I counted on my fingers. 3, 2, 1. Who's it? Who is it? There we go! Here we go! Don't fall behind! Akari and I rushed off in the direction of those sounds, but the presence had already faded into the distance. It hadn't been a bird or cat, as there were no trace of wing flapping in the wind or disgruntled
さっ
mewing.
きの気のせいじゃないわよね。
Yeah, look at the ground over there.
これって足跡？
Yeah, the shoe size is quite small, most likely a woman's. Extremely short one. There are indents by the toe marks. She must have jumped up and ran somewhere.
じゃあまだこの近くに。
Akari looked around in the daze. The trees gently rustled in the wind and eventually grew silent. My 5 senses to work and searched the area, but came up short. No good, they've completely concealed themselves. Maybe they've already put some distance between us.
ケイスケでもわからないの？
Unfortunately.
だったら辺りをくまなく探しましょう。せめて手がかりだけでも手に入れないと。
Agreed. Afterward, Akari and I split up and scoured the area. Investigated using the pursuit techniques Grandpa had instilled in me, but the only reminiscent footprints were the ones we found earlier. The culprit had left no other clues in their wake. Anyone walking on soft soil would absolutely leave a footprint or two. Pushing through a thicket while avoiding drawing attention should mean they would leave some traces on the vegetation, but...
ケイスケ、何か見つかった？
Nothing aside from those first footprints. What's going
そ
on?
んな、こんなに探しても何もないなんて。
As I carefully erased the footprints, walked extraordinarily cautiously, maybe even swung from the trees like a monkey.
そんな忍者じゃあるまいし。
But aren't we dealing with the Tsuchigumo? Would they be capable of that much?
確かに。
In reality, that much would be child's play for me or Grandpa. It wouldn't be all that surprising if there was someone else around capable of the same. Anyhow, no ordinary girl would have this skill set. Which means...
店裏。
Yeah, but since it's the middle of the afternoon, it didn't seem like she could go to where Kana or Otome are.
でも、どうして私たちの後をつけてるのかしら。
Tracking our movements to get our hands on information about the mystic treasures. Plus, you got a weak-looking sidekick beside you. If she were after you, this would be the best spot.
確かにケイスケは普通の学生だし、そう見えるかもしれない。で、
Whoops. Huh?
ケイスケがいなかったら、店裏に気づくことなんてなかった。感情が高ぶったまま、なんかポカやらかしてたと思うもの。
See, someone to hear you say that.
でもね、ケイスケ。あいつが私たちを狙ってるなら、これ以上は危険だわ。これから何があるかわからないのに、これ以上ケイスケ。
That's all the more reason you should bring me with you, if you ask me.
どうして？
If I weren't around, wouldn't the fake Uda stop targeting you? We're so close to finally getting our hands on the lead, too.
それはそうかもしれないけど。
In that case, we should really use me as a lure. I'm not opposed at all.
いや、そんなこと絶対できない。
Akari said that while shaking her head back and forth. Honestly, what a softy our klutzy samurai was. Brother-wise smiled on my lips. Akari, you're going to avenge your old man, right?
どうしてそれを？
I heard that your dad passed away. Considering your attitude, I thought that might be the case. Kept the details Kana had told me to myself. Things would only get complicated if I mentioned her name now.
そう。土雲に、あいつらに私のお父さんは殺されたの。だからその残党が残っているなら、絶対私の手で捕まえてやりたい。でもそれは私のわがまま。そんなことに大事な友達を巻き込めないわ。
Would that really be such a bad thing? I'm telling you it's
ダ
fine.
メよ。
Part of it's that Kana and the others asked me, but you're a precious friend to me too. A friend is giving it everything she's got. Standing and watching from the sidelines isn't my style. Let a guy show off a little.
でも、
I'll obviously keep my promise. If things get dicey, then I'll bail. I don't plan on dying either.
もうバカね。進んで危険なことしたいなんて、ほんとバカ。
I have to be quite proud of my idiocy. After saying that under her breath, Akari hung her head and pondered for a brief moment. Then she lifted her head and looked at me with determination.
ケイスケ、言ってくれたわよね。私のこと大事な友達だって。
Yeah.
私も同じよ。あなたのこと本当に大事な友達だって思ってる。
That serious tone and straightforward gaze, she said, made me truly happy. But given where this was leading, would she turn me down? What should I say if she did? Should I start to run those thoughts to my mind?
あなたは私が守る。どんなことがあっても。
Oh, got an unexpected answer.
さっきみたいに偽裏の気配に気づけたのはケイスケのおかげよ。それだけじゃない。私一人じゃパトロールしても何も収穫がなかったかもしれない。本当は危ないから遠ざけたいところだけど、私一人じゃどうもこれ以上は無理みたいだから。
Okay.
だからケイスケ、お願い、私に付き合って。
Isn't that supposed to be my line?
いいじゃない。女の子が言ったって。それに私は日本一の桃太郎侍の子孫なんだから。決めるときは決めるのよ。
Well, you're a klutz samurai anyway.
ここでそれを言う？
I'm saying it because it's now. You work hard at the front, and if you get careless, I'll support you from the rear. Yeah, we really do make a great team, don't we?
そうかもね。
Right. Yeah, we get it. We cracked up and laughed at each other for a short while. Alright, let's keep doing our best to eradicate the fake Uda, partner. Held out a hand and Akari gripped it tightly.
改めてよろしくね、ケイスケ。
Akari replied with a full-fledged smile. Felt like my social link to Akari had deepened. It gave me this ticklish feeling deep down inside. Oh, don't worry about it. That's just the cards like flying around. Level increase. Don't worry about it. It's normal. Now then, we should tell the others about the fake Uda sighting properly this time.
そうだった。
Klutzy, klutzy.
ケイスケの意地悪。
Despite adorably puffing up her cheeks, Akari did get in touch with Kana and the others. A week had passed since Akari and I first encountered the fake Uda while on patrol. We immediately briefed Kana and the others, as well as the Sakagami ninjas, following the incident, but had not sensed anything since. While I was still in her sour moods, I heard her out to try and pacify her, but it seemed she hadn't caught wind of anything especially odd other than romantic rumors about Akari and me. That being the case, we all gathered and held a debriefing. Even Tamahiko, who regularly skipped committee meetings, was in attendance today. So, that's roughly what's been going on our end. What about the rest of you?
私と兄様も成果なしです。前と同じく、こちらにも情報は入っていませんね。私たちの方も先週それらしい遭遇が2回あっただけだったわ。やっぱりケイスケを連れて歩いたのが狙われた理由なのかしら。
その意見には同意する。前にも言っただろう。素人など連れていても足手まといにしかならないと。
先生、ケイスケは足手まといなんかじゃありません。
Oh, Akari was backing me up.
だが所詮は一般人だ。戦力には入らん。
それでもケイスケは私をちゃんとサポートしてくれています。ケイスケがいなかったら偽裏の気配に気づくことすらできなかったんですよ。
しかしだな。
お兄様。
まあ少しは役に立っているか。キビツミヤをうまくフォローしているようだしな。
Onigokko just mentioned the fact that a motherfucker can outrun her. Changed your tune quickly. As usual, this guy was soft when it came to
一
his
般
sister.
人といえば浦部妹や住吉が狙われた痕跡はないのか。
それはありません。警備の忍者さんたちもこれといって妙なことは目撃していないと言っています。
となると唯一の手がかりはあかりたちが見たという人影だけか。
それでこれからどうするんだキビツミヤ。
そうですね。
His expression appeared on Akari's face as she put her hand to her chin. Could she be considering the option of using me as a lure as well? Or just keep going up patrol to Akari? Do that, fake Ura might get careless and show herself.
それはもう遅いと思うわ。あれから1週間経っても全く動きを見せないし、多分素人のはずのケイスケが予想以上の反応をしたからよ。先に気配に気づいたのはケイスケだったし。それだと操作は振り出しに戻っちゃうね。唯一の突破口もこれで塞がっちゃうし。
Just gonna said we were at a dead end. Everyone was silent. If there was something we could do other than patrol, that would be. I know, why don't we search for Mr. Treasures we haven't fully located one more time? It must be out there, right? Like that teacup thing.
成果は期待できないだろう。
Why?
島にある怪しい物品などは御三家で積極的に回収しています。うちも骨董品屋を経営して古い品物などを買い取っています。その中から秘宝が見つかることもありますが、ごく稀です。茶釜のようなケースは数年に一度あるかないかのことですから。
Meaning we'd have to sit on our hands even longer than if we just went out of patrol.
はい。所在の明らかになってない秘宝か。
What's up, Akari?
なんでもないわ。それより今後の動きなんだけど、引き続き忍者部隊にはパトロールと乙女先輩の警護をお願いするわ。プレッシャーをかけ続けましょう。
分かった。
何か異常があったら報告しますね。カナたちは念のため回収した骨董品を改めて調べてみてくれる？それと町の人たちに聞き込みをお願い。お年寄りの話を中心に聞いてみて。
わかった。任せてくれ。
それで私とケイスケはちょっと調べ物に当たってみるわ。調べ物？まあ調べるだけ無駄骨のような気がするんだけど、何か分かったら報告するわね。以上。質問は？
Taking everyone's smiles and silences as affirmation, Akari nodded to
じゃ
herself.
あ今日は解散しましょう。お疲れ様。
Then, at that very moment, when Akari was about to wrap things up, Akari was the first to leap at the door and fling it open. And standing there was...
クレハ？
どうした住吉。こんなところで何をしている？
別に委員会室で勉強しようとしたら入るに入れない雰囲気だったから待っていただけだ。あ、そっか。ごめんね。今ちょっと立て込んだ話をしてて。お話は終わりましたから、もう入ってきてもいいですよ。
The ultimate's prompting, Kurea waltzed into the room with her usual curt attitude.
それじゃあ私たちは予定通りに。
お互い幸運を祈ろう。
では私は部活へ行きますね。
Say hi to Oi for me.
はい。それでは。
乙女、カバンを持とう。水着の入ったバッグもよこせ。
Tameko said while following after Otome rather naturally. Yeah, I guess he was also the swim club's advisor, but I got the feeling his intentions weren't anything but
さ
pure.
てと、 それじゃあこっちは調べ物を始めましょうか。ねえケイスケ、あなたのお父さんって考古学者だったわよね。古文書とか詳しい？
Yeah, you probably could as long as he has a dictionary.
じゃあ読んでほしい資料を持ってくるから手伝って。
That's fine, but what are we investigating?
まずは見てほしいものがあるの。ちょっと待ってて。
That said, Akari took a document from the bookshelf on the island's collect legends and opened it in front of me. Then she flipped through the passages and pointed to a certain passage.
ほら、ここ見て。
What do we have here? Mystic treasures bestowed by the heavenly maiden, protected by thy three servants, slumbering in the depths of darkness. This book seemed to be a collection of the legends passed down on this island. This was pretty old, wasn't it? It's kind of like a place you'd had a treasure in an
で
RPG.
しょ？実は子供の頃、実家で似たような文を読んだことがあるの。吉備津宮の屋敷の蔵に忍び込んで遊んでたら、そこに古い鏡があってね、磨いてみたら新品みたいにキラキラ光ったの。それが嬉しくて光に当ててみたら壁に文字が浮かび上がったってわけ。
Mirror that revealed letters when light was shone on it. Magic mirror, huh? Rough patches among the mirror's surface too faint to be seen by the naked eye could change the angle of reflected light and form letters. And those were similar to what's written
え
here?
え、確か三つ子岩に守られしその宝、竜の腹渡にて光を喰らう、祖は王の証だったかな。
Yeah, the three servants, triplet stones. And are connected by the same verse about protecting something, huh?
でしょ？他にもいくつかパターンの違う文章があちこちの資料に残ってるの。みんな単なる言い伝えって扱いだけど、あの鏡は実家の蔵にガラクタと一緒に放り込まれてた。あれが魔境だったことは多分私しか気づいてないはず。だとすれば未確認の秘宝のありかの手がかりになるんじゃないかと思って。
Striking resemblance between legends that had been distorted through time and writing inscribed into a magic mirror certainly did improve the credibility of legend itself, but it is pretty interesting. But doesn't that mean it'll amount to indicating where the forgotten? But that doesn't amount. That does mean it'll amount to indicating where the forgotten mystic treasures are located, does it?
分かってる。どちらかというとダメでもともとって感じの調べ物だからね。だからみんなにも内緒にしておきたかったの。小さい頃の記憶だから曖昧だし、変に期待持たせたくなかったから。
Makes sense to me, but you still can't help but be curious.
そういうこと。そんなわけで解読付き合ってくれる？
Sure, if that's what you need, can me in. I'm your partner, so I'll join you no matter what it is.
ありがとう。それじゃ早速始めましょうか。
So where do we start
まず
looking?
この文の解析からね。とりあえず書き出してみましょうか。
You've got such pretty handwriting.
ありがとう。習字にペン字、いろいろやらされたおかげね。とりあえずわかりやすそうな三つ子岩からいきましょう。これってなんか場所っぽいわよね。
Does it remind you of any specific location?
三つ子岩か。聞いたことないわね。
You're an island native and you don't know? In that case, why don't we try scrounging up an old map on the island? Maybe a landmark or something was renamed before you were born.
そうね。あと岩にまつわる伝承なんかも調べてみるといいかも。
Would, but if it comes to that, we may need to do a general overview of all the books here. Glancing over at the meandering lineup of books was enough to make you semi-dizzy.
しょうがないわ。千里の道も一歩からよ。
Okay, let's leave reading all that for another time. What does it mean by consume the light upon the dragon's bowels?
さっぱりね。
That shall be the sign of the
宝そのものの
king.
ことを指しているっぽいけど。
If it's the sign of the king, maybe it's a crown or something.
それは西洋的発想だな。日本で王の証といえば三種の神器じゃないか。剣、勾玉、鏡とか。
Oh, I see.
うん。
Koda, why are you here?
バカを言うな。さっきからいたぞ。あれか、 私の背が小さいから気づかなかったとかそういうオチか。そうなんだな。
Sorry, we just didn't really notice you in general. Kinda think of it, she had turned up at the committee room around the time the meeting ended, and I hadn't seen her leave immediately afterward.
お前たちは何をやっているんだ？
ああ、うん。この島にある秘宝について、ちょっと気になることがあってね。
そうか。な、人手がいるなら手伝ってやらんでもないぞ。なんだ、何を驚いている。私も一応委員会の一員だぞ。遺跡やら秘宝やらに興味があるんだ。
As you would be, yeah. And think that this girl had knocked on the committee room herself. Her tongue had made me forget, but she was interested in historical science, a real archaeology
クレ
gal.
ハは古文書とか読んだ経験あるの？
あるわけないだろう。そういうのは普通大学に入ってから読むものだ。
じゃあ、島の地図が載ってる本を片っ端から選んで積み上げといて。そうでないのは元の場所に戻しておいて。
わかった。
Hey now, are you sure about having Kurea help?
人手は大いに越したことはないもの。幸いクレハは御三家とは無関係だしね。
Well, alright, if you say so. Bitch is working with 2 Uras. Talk about massive progress. Akari of all people was proactively seeking other people's help. Anyhow, this was a good trend. Perused the books Kurea took out and distinguished whether they had any relevant material or not. Anything that hit the mark, I handed to Akari to examine more closely for information. Since this face was mostly intelligence gathering, we had collected a sizable assortment of old books, texts, and maps by the time we needed to head home for the day.
どうだったんだ？
ダメね。それっぽい資料はなし。
Swing and a miss, huh?
まあ、ダメ元でやってるんだもの。気長に行きましょう。
Yes,
それじゃあ明日は伝承の類を調べましょうか。
Sure, you've got it.
明日も付き合ってもいい。バイトまで少しは時間もあるしな。
助かるわ。
Quickly got our things together and left the committee room.
では、私はバイトへ行く。
Yeah, see ya.
また明日ね、クレハ。
Saw Kureha's tiny frame walk off, then spoke to Akari beside me. Going on patrol now, right?
当然でしょ。
Alright. Akari was smiling sweetly at me as we walked side by side down the hall. When school ended, Akari, Kurea, and I practically returned to the bookshelves inside out, looking through documents. It came as no surprise that it took some time, mostly due to the immense quantity of books, but a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. The only choice was to keep tirelessly plugging away. It's exhausting. Staying physically active is more my style. I stretched my arms over my head and looked up towards the sky. The waning rays of sunlight were dyeing the clouds a dark shade of
あ
red.
ら、でも文献読むの結構早いじゃない。やっぱりお父さんがそういう仕事をしてるから？
Yes, wow, though you remember what I told you about my dad.
考古学者がお父さんなんて印象的じゃない。記憶に残るわよ。
Really? I think having a Momotaro as an ancestor would stick in someone's mind way more.
もう、そういう意地悪言わないの。
Sorry. Anyway, Akari was really great at delegating and managing people. It seemed to be the case when assigning responsibilities within the 3 great families, as well as during our investigation, but she was dishing out one task after another after she learned I could read the texts. Since Kurea couldn't read the reference materials, she assigned routine tasks to her, and Akari further scrutinized the information we'd collected. No wasted effort. Could just be another fruit of the Kibutsumiya family's strict upbringing. But of course, I couldn't actually ask.
クレハもありがとう。おかげで今日も下校時間までになんとか終わらせられたわ。
気にするな。遺跡には興味があったし。 物はついでだ。
ついで？
言っただろ、遺跡に興味があると。そのついでだ。
でも助かったわ。ありがとね。
But I must not have been used to getting compliments, as she cutely whiffed her head to the side. Akari seemed to agree. We faced each other and held back a laugh. We said goodbye to Kura, who was on her way to work, and went out on our daily patrols. Later we found ourselves in front of the women's dorm. It's timing. It couldn't be. Hello?
またまたあかりさんとラブラブ下校なのお兄ちゃん。
Oh, are you spying on us again?
寮の前でイチャイチャしてれば嫌でも見えるよ、聞こえるよ。
We weren't flirting, it's work! Work!
絶対下心もあるよね。
I do think there are some tricks to it.
お兄ちゃんの正直なところは美徳だよね。私好きだな。
Right.
それじゃあせいぜいお仕事頑張ってね。
Wait, there's something I'd like to ask you.
何？
Do you happen to know anything about my oh-so-kind sister who makes my lunch and dinner? She seems to be missing.
お兄ちゃんのみそぎが済むまで帰ってこないと思うよ。
What do you mean purification ceremony? What did I do? She hung up on me without giving me a chance.
よくわからないけど、大変みたいね。
You shouldn't assume your parents and siblings will be around forever.
はい？
I meant you should treasure your parents and siblings.
まあまあね。
I'm happy she cares about me so much, but it's a little odd how clingy she is.
でも葵ちゃんがちょっと羨ましいかな。
Why?
なんだかんだで、ケイスケっていいお兄ちゃんだと思うから。
I think so?
私もケイスケみたいなお兄ちゃんなら欲しいな。
Huh.
なんでもない。
Akari sure was making a lot of forward-sounding comments like that lately. I guess it was fine. Besides, she always looked super adorable when she got all shy like that.
それにしても大変ね。お弁当は作ってあげられるけど、晩ご飯は作りに行ってあげるわけにもいかないしね。
Not so bad. Walking with cooking any day, anytime.
そう？
Yeah, your food always tastes great.
ありがとう。
Akari was positively adorable when she fidgeted in places like that. Well, there was a side. Women were fundamentally prohibited from entering the men's dorm at nighttime. Just hearing Akari say that she'd like to make me dinner made my stomach growl. It was less hunger and more that she was giving me butterflies. I'd love to have a sister like you too, Akari. Mine's a little moody. As they say, honesty is the best policy.
葵ちゃんは十分素直だと思うけど、私も素直なのかな。
Yeah, I think you are right now, anyway.
そっか。
After an impish giggle, Akari spun around in place. Her long black hair and the frills of her skirt danced in midair, and Akari's sweet aroma caused my heart to skip a beat.
とりあえず今後ともお昼は任せて。しばらくは面倒見てあげる。
Seriously?
ケイスケって美味しい美味しいって言ってくれるから作りがいがあるし、そういうわけでまた明日ね。
Yeah. Akari shot me a smile and waved. I returned the gesture and watched her walk inside the door. She seemed more sure of herself as of late. Wished a little bit of that sincerity would rub off on Aoi. Still was sure she'd understand if I talked to her. She's gonna end up getting in the way of work, so I'd better suck up to her while I still could. In any event, what should I go for dinner? I was out of instant ramen, so maybe I could go rummage through any unsold lunches at the convenience store. Downtown at sunset, the delicious smells wafting through the air from all directions was borderline torture to my empty stomach. Avery needs to stop being so grumpy with me already. Well, I was busy mumbling the sort of line a hopeless husband might say after his wife had run out on him. Now was the beautiful woman walking towards me. She was gorgeous, mature, with long black hair that reached her waist. Now, I will say, I know of her existence. I saw the sprite before, and I knew it was MILF immediately. Wow. Yeah, why was I getting googly-eyed at some random lady? Was it because of Akari? No, that would be awful. I was going to get reported. We looked away in a panic. And I heard her anguished sigh, looked back towards her. With those looks, she looked unsteady and was staggering quite a bit as she walked. As she drew closer, I noticed she had an oddly pained expression. Should I say something to her? What the? All of a sudden, the black-haired beauty flopped to the ground on the spot. Are you alright? Crap, I rushed over and lifted her up on reflex. Man, I couldn't get enough of the intoxicating fragrance she was wearing. The scent of perfume really did remind you of mature ladies. Come on, this wasn't the time for that. Get a grip of me.
ごめんなさい。支えていただいてしまって。
Are you sure you are okay?
はい。ごめんなさい。最近ちょっと寝不足気味で。
Sleep deprivation is the enemy of health and beauty. Then again, I sometimes get wrapped up in plastic models and stay up late too.
いけませんね。
I know.
ありがとうございます。もう大丈夫ですから。
With some slight reluctance, I gently stepped away. Are you really okay?
平気です。
Sure, she wasn't staggering anymore, but she had this kind of transient feeling to her. I was worried more so than I probably should have been. You might have asked where you're going.
すぐそこの寮へ。
That was just a stone's throw away then. I considered walking her if it was far away, but yeah, I think she'd think I was trying to pick her up if I pushed that far. Better hold off. The dorm, I'm visiting your sister by any chance?
いえ、娘ですよ。
What? Daughter?
私何かおかしなことを言いましたか？
No, you just don't look old enough to have a kid.
まあ、最近の学生さんはお世辞も上手ね。
No, I mean it. I wouldn't lie.
ありがたく受け取っておきます。
I wasn't trying to flatter her, but better drop the subject. You know, though, that smile of hers kind of reminded me of someone. She suddenly looked at the direction of the women's dorm with a somewhat troubled look on her face. You're going to the dorm, right? Is there someone you wanted to see?
失礼します。はい、私です。はい。その件は現状通りに。他に変わったことはありませんか？
Oh, it's gotta be hilarious if you just stood there talking to him, suddenly just noticed fake Una, and I'm just not caring about any pretense. Just grabs a nearby, can or, fucking rock or something, just chucks it. Stop following me around! Sorry about that.
はい。わかりました。向かいます。準備をしておいてください。仕事が入ってしまいました。戻らなければ。
Dorm's right there, though.
仕事ですから。
I see.
では、お世話になりました。親切な学生さん。ちゃんと夜は眠らないといけませんよ。
Understood. Please take care.
では、失礼いたします。ありがとうございました。
With that courteous bow, the beautiful lady left without me so much as learning her name. The perfumed aroma lingered in the air behind her. The amateur women like her were lovely. She reminds me of someone, but who? As usual, Akane and I headed towards the committee room during lunch break.
はい、ケイスケ。お弁当。
Sorry to keep putting you out like this.
それは言わない約束よ。
Smiled when Akari handed him over my lunch as I removed the lid.
まったく付き合わされる私の身にもなれ。だって言いにくいの。うるさい。肉と決めたのだからさっさとしろ。分かったよ。
I really want him to be like, I like he just like puts the box down, takes top part, puts it that way, hears them, puts the top part back, just puts it back in the thing, just hides it under the table. Sorry, Akari, I feel like things are going to be complicated if I have that openly on the table right now. Those voices.
お兄ちゃんいる
Oi!
昨日は私も怒りすぎたかなーってでお詫びにお弁当を
Oh, his eyes locked onto the lunchbox currently in my hands.
なんでお兄ちゃんがお弁当を持ってるの
Oh, actually, Akari made it for me to thank her for helping with her investigation. Thanks a bunch.
ひどいお兄ちゃんの浮気者毎日のように私を美味しくいただいてたのに
Hey, wait! Don't say stuff like that! All I've eaten is your food!
ケイスケ、実の妹になんてことを。許せないよ。なんて羨ましいんだ。
兄様羨ましいって
違うんだよかな。これには浅いわけが。
Shallow how?
お兄ちゃんのバカ単勝もう知らないんだから行こうくーちゃん
こらおい、引っ張るんじゃない。だから私を血話喧嘩に巻き込むな。
Her missing right here is going to cause her to not have one singular, like, tidbit of vital information that's gonna cause her to get caught. I'm predicting it right now. That all right there. At least leave after denying the stubby the allegations. Oh, he ignored me and dragged Kurea down the hallway.
修羅場ですね
Hey, you don't stare at me like that.
すみませんでも気になりますよねこの恋の行方はい気になります
Kinda clenched her fists and a sparkle in her eyes. Man, always really putting me in a tight
ね
spot.
えケイスケお弁当作るのもうやめた方がいい
This is an endless loop because she refuses to make him lunch. She goes fucking hungry. He goes fucking hungry. You make him lunch because you don't want him to go fucking hungry. Because if he goes fucking hungry, he's gonna fucking pass out. Ooh. The troubled smile on Akari's face left me momentarily speechless. I should be asking my sister to make me lunch instead, especially when I was confused seeing Akari in the process. However, that single word of affirmation refused to come out of my
ケイ
throat.
スケやっぱり葵ちゃんに謝って作ってもらった方がいいよ
Well, her disappointed tone tugged powerfully at my heartstrings. She wasn't wrong, but that would be making light of Akari's generosity up until now. That didn't sit right with me. Yeah, given my position as Phantom Divura, the more interaction I had with Akari, the better. Yeah, that was all it was. The situation was entirely out of my hands. I'm saying so, Akari, please keep doing what you're doing. It's high time for our way to stop being so cliquey. Besides, compared to always food, yours tastes better.
そうならわかったこれからもよろしくね
I don't know what I should be saying that.
それもそうね
Felt like a weight had been lifted off my chest, seeing Akari giggle like that.
見ましたかなちゃん今のキックオフごっこはいしかと
What are you talking about?
私たちは甘酸っぱい青春のアルバムの1ページを見た証人になったって話ですよ
Why do you sound like an old middle-aged woman drinking beer, frustrated over still being single? Huh?
わかりやすく言うと、君たちリア充は死んだ方がいいよってことだね。ああ、熱い熱い。
ちょっと待って違ったらそうじゃないってば
That's right! Why would it work out that way?
でも葵 葵ちゃんというものがありながら、圭介くんはあかりちゃんのお弁当を選んだわけでして。
つまりそれは。
そう好きってことさ。好意に値するね。
どうしましょう。
Knock it off already! That's a huge leap in logic, no matter how you slice it!
でも、そういう圭介くんもお顔が真っ赤ですよ。
Anyone's face would get like this if you keep making fun of them!
圭介、やっぱりお弁当は葵ちゃんに。
No, there's the perfect opportunity to knock some sense into her. So please, Akari, please keep making me lunch.
頑張る。
What you got like this?
あらあら、見ましたかなちゃん。はい、圭介さんたちすっかりラブラブです。
Hey, shut up!
怒られちゃいましたね。はい、怒られちゃいました。
It would be a waste of time to argue the point further, so I focused my attention on my lunch instead. I was looking forward to this lunch from Akari, yet I couldn't really pick up the flavor. Without turbulent lunchtime passed us, everyone took a breather. In the end, Aoi never did come back.
そういえばあかりちゃん、例の調べ物は何か進展ありましたか？正直まだまだこれからってところです。もともと雲をつかむような話でしたし。カナたちはどう？
やっぱり新しい秘宝の情報は何も入ってないみたいだよ。
こちらも特に怪しい人影などは見かけません。毎日平穏無事です。
島をパトロールしている忍者部隊からもこれといった報告は上がってこないね。
そう。まあ今はできることをやりましょう。焦っても仕方ないし。あらあら、一番焦っていたのはあかりちゃんでしたのに。いや、そうですけど、そう思えるようになったのも
圭介さんのおかげ。
またこの流れなの？
Akari's face tinted pink and she cried out to their incessant teasing. I wasn't quite sure I should be saying this, but maybe it wouldn't be so bad to spend a little more leisurely time like this with Akari and the others. As usual, Akari and I headed towards the committee room after school ended. We racked our brains and nodded as we looked through the materials we collected and examined up until yesterday. Consume the light upon the dragon's bowels. We had a few theories regarding this sentence. When you hear dragon, the first thing that comes to mind is an old standby. Western-style dragons common in RPGs. The ones that breathe fire and soar through the sky with massive wings. However, this sentence was most likely referencing long-bodied Oriental dragons, which typically appeared in Japanese folktales. Oriental dragons had a water god aspect to them. There were many fairy tales and myths all over Japan in which people would pray for rain to the dragon god, to the Dragon King. Perhaps dragon's bowels would refer to a place related to water. Or maybe it could be associated with Oriental dragons' long torsos, and the bowels could be referring to a cavern. Oh, reusing the shrine beneath Rashomon, I see. Cheap, cheap, cheap. According to Akari, there was a large cavern system on Miyajima that was off-limits to ordinary people. Caves and treasures went hand in hand, but the cave being off-limits was likely meant that someone had gone through it before. In other words, there was a high probability that the three great families had already verified their contents.
結局、竜の腹渡って洞窟のことじゃないのかしら。
What do you think it means by consume the light? Somewhere without light, then that probably does mean it's somewhere dark.
となると、やっぱり怪しいのは洞窟。他にも竜が水を差すなら、海底って線もあるわね。
And if that's what it is, we'll never be able to investigate.
そうね。 海底はちょっと無理よね。
Oh, I know. If the dragon's supposed to mean water, then what about the coastline?
海岸線?
The coastline is long and thin. So think about it. The rising and waning of the tide can create paths.
サンゴの道?
Yeah, that. It comes in the mornings, so it's not dark. But it says consume the light, so maybe it has something to do with sunset.
それいいかもね。少しでも可能性があるなら確かめてみましょう。
We wrote down each and every idea that came into our mind in our notebooks. It's kind of a word association game and was actually pretty entertaining.
出演するぞ。
あ、グレハ、来てくれたんだ。
今日も変態と一緒か。相変わらずのバカップルぶりだな。
カップルじゃない。
And I love birds!
気味が悪いくらいに息もぴったりだな。キビツミヤ先輩、やはり相手は選んだ方がいいぞ。
あ、もうそのネタはもういいから。
で、今日は何をすればいい？
宮島の地図、サンゴの道について載ってる文献を探して。
わかった。
Korea gave that short reply and headed for the bookshelves. Anyone would start to memorize where everything was after rummaging through the shelves so many times. Korea had gotten pretty good at looking through the available documents at a pretty fast pace. Throughout the time sunset, it was time to head home.
よし。
What's up?
二人とも付き合ってくれてありがとう。調べ物はもういいわ。
Why does she have tears in her eyes?
何かわかったのか？
ええ、これ以上ここでうなってても仕方がないことが分かったわ。
つまりそれは今までの調査に全く意味がなかったということか。
そんなことはないわ。あとは実際に目星をつけた場所を足で調べる段階に入ったってこと。
そうか。
今日までありがとうね、クレハ。明日からはもういいわ。あとは私たちでやるから。
わかった。何か進展があったら教えてくれ。
ええ。それじゃあ今日は引き上げましょう。先生に追い出される前に。
Sounds good. After that, I left the committee room with Akari and Kura. Once we said goodbye to Kura at the gates like usual, we did a quick sweep around town yet again, and I walked Akari to the women's dorm.
ごめんね。いつも寮の前まで遅らせちゃって。
Don't worry about it. Our dorm is close by anyway.
そっか。ねえ、ケイスケ。明日のお休み、暇？
Yeah, I don't have any plans.
じゃあ、夕方からちょっと付き合ってくれる？例のサンゴの道、行ってみましょう。
Shouldn't it be tonight if you have tomorrow off, so, you know? Sure, maybe we can say goodbye to all that reading, right?
じゃあ、明日の夕方、寮の前に迎えに行くから。
Yeah, see you then.
おやすみなさい。
Her eyes relaxed as she waved, and her lips curled into a gentle smile. Could possibly be that she was looking forward to tomorrow's investigation. Then again, it wasn't like it was a date, so there was no need to be especially self-conscious over it, but yeah, that didn't change the fact that it'd be going on outing with Akari to the beach. I was looking forward to tomorrow for sure. Downtown after dropping Akari off at her dorm. I had to start thinking about what I'd do for dinner tonight. Aoi was likely still in a bad mood, and there was little hope of her to say anything like, "I'll cook dinner for you tonight." Which meant my options were my leftover lunchbox and 2 varieties of instant ramen. Eating ramen day after day got old really fast. Yeah, I know about it, stomach. But I head to the grocery store and grab whatever side dishes I could get my hands on. Then about the time I reached the toy store that was near the supermarket.
いいなぁ。
I have perfectly ascertained her character. She refuses to accept that Akari is growing up, forever thinking of her as a child, since it in a way reminds her of her time with her husband, and also which also manifests in her overprotectiveness, and she does not want to lose her daughter like she did her husband. Psychoanalysis complete. I'm so fucking good. Yeah, stop. That one was a bit too much. That one was a bit too much. Yeah, let me look up the fucking voice actress for this one, by the way. I swear, I swear I fucking know this one. Also, apparently the fucking Fandisk has another character again, like an additional character. Like Nozina, like a small greener child, it seems. Kaibara Elena for her. Kaibara Elena. Well, she sing. Oh yeah, yeah. Sings Fuyu Hanabi. We know who she is. Yeah, she's Shion, Amagamine Shion from Anai Royale. Then she's also apparently the MC's mom from Making Lovers. I apparently did not pick up on that last time. She's also Miyako and Hishia, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to read through all of them again. I think I've done so before. A lady in a suit was staring eagerly into the toy shop show window. Long black hair. Wasn't that the woman I ran into before? Given the occasion, I might as well at least say hello.
どうしましょう。どうしましょう。
Good evening. She belted out a tremendous scream.
あなたはこの間の。ごめんなさい。びっくりしてしまいまして。
Sorry for scaring you. You were looking at the toys, right? Was there some that caught your eye?
見ちゃダメです。
The woman tried to block the object from view, but it was taller and could see everything behind her. The display was packed full of cushions shaped like strawberries, carrots, peaches, and the like. You were looking at cushions?
見ちゃダメって言ったじゃありませんか。
The way she puffed up her cheeks and grunted was more adorable than I'd expect out of a mother of one, so I found myself grinning. You were eyeballing the fruit
違い
cushions.
ます。あくまでその娘へのプレゼント用に。
And when you saw it, you wanted one for yourself too?
人の心を読むのは悪趣味ですよ。
Against my better judgment, I wanted to tease the woman after seeing her adorable reactions, but I figured it would be pretty scummy to tease someone so much older than myself. Well, why not grab two? Come this far, so grab one for yourself and give the other to your daughter.
ですが、私もいい年ですし、今さらクッションなんて恥ずかしいですし。
Not at all. It's cute and suits you. I genuinely believe that, and I'm not trying to flatter you.
もう相変わらず口が達者な子ですね。
Be old at mind and young at heart. Just say something like that or something. I don't fucking know. Be old in mind, or mature in mind and young at heart. More like that. Works better that way.
でも男の人に可愛いなんて言ってもらえたの久しぶりです。
Oh no.
嬉しいです。
Oh no! He is seducing the mom! Oh no! Yep, she was cute, but she got shy and fidgeted around too. She's really acted too innocent to be a mother. However, I did get the feeling I'd seen someone act this way, act the same way recently.
まあ私のはさておき娘の分は。
All of a sudden, before she could finish her sentence, her knees gave out from under her. Quickly propped her up. Are you alright?
最近ちょっと仕事が。
Sounds like a black company, Jesus! Still not getting enough sleep.
お恥ずかしながら。
was relieved to hear it wasn't anything too serious, at least. Even so, I was strangely relaxed around her and was engulfed in this pleasant aroma of her perfume. Ah, it smelled fantastic. With her glued against me, and I felt like I was getting dizzy. We ended up staring at each other. This woman really was cute. Beautiful woman with refined looks, yet still with a fair share of her youthful traits.
そんなに見つめないでくださ
Sorry, didn't mean to. Can you stand?
い。いえ、少し休みたいです。
Let's get you to that bench over there then. Still somewhat freaked out, I carried her over to the nearby
ごめんな
bench.
さい。お手数をおかけして。
Don't mention it! Oh, I know. Do you want something to drink?
では、ネクタルを。
What?
おかしいですか
Oh, no, it's nothing. I'll buy one for
ご
you.
めんなさい。お手数をおかけします。
Is he starting to connect the dots? I left her sitting on the bench with her head hung low, and I ran off in search of a vending machine that sold nectar. Would I be able to find such an obscure-sounding beverage? Found it. I managed to find it in the first vending machine I came across. Maybe it was a popular drink on this island. Guess that was the that was the island. I guess this was the island of the Momotaro legends for you. Still, I never expected her to request a super sweet drink. Wouldn't this cause heartburn if you drank it when you were in less than perfect health? That's what I thought to myself, but here you are.
ありがとうございます。生き返ります。
Whoa, she practically chucked it down in a single gulp. I guess all that worrying about heartburn or whatever was for nothing. I think I didn't know one other person like this. Someone who looked like she really enjoyed this uber sweet
ありが
drink.
とうございました。おかげで楽になりました。
Don't mention it. A smile crossed her face, and I responded with a smile of my own. She really did appear to be feeling better.
そうそう。このジュースの名前になっているネクタルの由来ってご存知ですか
Yes, it means elixir of life, right?
あら、ご存知だったのですかそうなんです。桃は厄を避け、病を退ける百薬の長なんですよ。
Nah, that's alcohol. Wait, I guess the word nectar is originally derivative from alcohol, huh?
面白いですよね。
It is. This delighted-sounding lady who had her own unique childish laugh reminded me of an equally adorable girl around my own age. In fact, she acted this way when she had a kid. We were truly enigmas.
さてと。
Are you okay now?
はい。ネクタルを飲んで元気100倍ですから。
Like the Moronamen sea drink, is it? She stood up in such an elegant manner that it was hard to imagine she had nearly collapsed earlier and gazed at me with a gentle smile.
すっかりお世話になってしまいましたね。何かお礼をさせてくださいな。
No, I only did what anyone else would have done. Please don't worry about it. Stomach growl!
ですが、2度も助けていただいてお礼もなしというのは。
We all need to help each other in times of need. I really don't need it. Wait! What?
そうですよね。もうそういう時間でしたね。
Well, there's...
あ、そうです。よろしかったら夕食をご馳走させてください。近くに美味しいお店があるんですよ。
I have a premonition. She's gonna take him to the tea kettle. Kuria's gonna see him. Kuria's going to, plot. Huh? That would be a huge help. But, I mean, it really is alright. Please don't worry about it.
体は正直ですね。
Barrett's.
若い人が遠慮なんかするものではありませんよ。こういう時は大人に花を持たせるものです。
Well, you may have a point, but still. I really didn't need her to thank me for anything. Damned honest stomach of mine. Then again, my grandma had told me that there were times where being modest can actually be impolite. Got it. Urabe Keisuke will take you up on your generous offer.
浦部圭介くんですか。あ、そういえば自己紹介がまだでしたね。
Yeah, you're right, we haven't.
私は犬飼、そう、犬飼真希と申します。真希で構いませんよ。
Maki then?
はい。
You could just call me Keisuke then.
圭介くん。
Yep.
名前で呼び合うなんてちょっと照れくさいですね。
Guess so. Whoops. You know, every single little gesture of hers was cute, so cute. It was starting to make my heart race. What the sensation? I felt it somewhere
そ
before.
れじゃあ行きましょうか。
Yes, thank you very much for your generosity. No, what? Why the tea kettle?
あら、ご存知でしたか。やっぱり学生さんなら一度はここに来ますよね。
She had led the way to the familiar tea kettle. They were serving dinner around this time of night, same for the desserts and drinks from lunchtime. The prices of the food skyrocketed. Students avoided this place like the plague around this time of night, and the clientele instantly changed.
いらっしゃいませ。どうして変態がここにいるんだ？
I was invited by a beautiful lady.
まあ、
お前、吉備宮先輩というものがありながら他の女を連れて歩くとは。
I'm telling you, Akari and I aren't like that!
バカを言うな。学園にいる間中、いっちゃビタビタ弁当を作らせるわ、あんさせるわ。放課後もパトロールという名目でデート三昧。どこからどう見てもバカップルにしか見えんぞ。
No, you're wrong! It's a misunderstanding, I tell you!
なぜそこまで否定する？俺の大事な女と言っておいて。それでは吉備宮先輩が泣くぞ。
俺の大事な女。
I'm telling you, you're wrong! We don't have that kind of relationship!
なら葵にそう説明しろ。嫉妬に狂った奴の相手をする私の身にもなってみろ。
Well, I guess I can't really say anything about that.
まさか圭介くん二股？
I'm not! Akari's not my girlfriend and always my sister!
それじゃあ近親相互。
What? No way! I would never sink that low!
うるさい。けだものが人道を語るな。
Hey, knock it off already! Do your job! Show us to our seats already! We're paying customers!
都合が悪いとごまかすか。もういい。仕事は仕事だ。ついてこい。
Ugh, I'm exhausted. Still setting on my side. Did people think of me and Akari that way? Yeah, I guess I couldn't blame anyone for coming to that conclusion if they saw some of our conversations.
さっきはここでいいか？
はい、大丈夫です。
注文は？
そうですね。圭介くん、お肉とお魚、今日の気分は？
Meat, I suppose?
男の子ですね。では、店長のおすすめディナーセットを肉コース2人前でお願いします。圭介くんのは大盛りで。
了解した。
Well, are you sure? That's awfully expensive. The meals you ordered came with a premium price tag. However, judging by the menu's photos, it included a rather radiant, mouth-watering steak. Incidentally, one of those meals would eat up my entire food budget for the month.
飲み物はどうします？
The stiff drink. Oh, not good. I mean, a sweet sake, please.
あら、ずいぶん渋いものを飲むのですね。
Nah.
私はピーチワインをグラスで。
わかった。しばし待て。
Could have replied before briskly disappearing into the kitchen.
変わった子ですね。あの子は圭介くんのお友達ですか？
My underclassman, she can be conceited, but she's not a bad
そ
person.
うみたいですね。それにしても圭介くん、二股は感心できませんよ。
No, everything she said was a lie, okay? I don't have a girlfriend, and I'm not some sort of pervert who do anything X-rated with his sister.
ずいぶん必死な様子ですけど、やはりどこか後ろめたい部分が。
It's a misunderstanding!
冗談です。
Seriously, please cut me some slack here. She acted like the serious and airheaded type, but she seemed to be quite the jokester too. Yeah, strangely enough, it didn't feel too horrible to be teased by a beautiful woman like Maki. By the way, you have a daughter, right? Does she go to our academy too?
ええ、まあ、なかなか連絡をくれないので、どうしているのか。ですが、頼りがないのは元気な証拠とも言いますからね。毎日充実してるんだと思います。
By the way, what's her name?
ケイスケ君みたいな女たらしには教えてあげません。
I have no idea why, but I feel like she at this point has already decided. Okay, so you're my son-in-law now. It just weirdly feels like that. Like that's actually how it's gonna like end up with the relationship. Like it would have been a case of her fighting that decision and like going against it, or at least like the rest of the family does, and then she just says, "Alright, shut the fuck up. He's marrying Akari if he wants to," and they're like completely confused why, and it's all because at this point she's like managed to already get a grasp of his personality, and she's like, "Yeah, he's fucking fantastic," and based on what the fuck we saw him do while capturing the fake Ura, and most likely something else that's gonna happen, possibly actual Tsuchigumo attack from someone other than Kureha and Sukuna. Yeah, we fucking want him on our side. You want that to be against us? I don't think you want to. This is not the first Ura, and I don't think it'll be the last. So let's just be happy that he's now in the family, and we can have a fucking proper look after him, so he doesn't pull shit. So yeah, complain about them getting married, and I will personally flay you. So cruel, I'm telling you, everything Kura had said earlier was a huge misunderstanding.
冗談ですよ。
Maki took a drink of cold water and looked a bit bothered as she scanned her surroundings. They're looking for a waitress. Should I call Kurea?
いえ、大丈夫です。その、可愛い制服だなって思いまして。
Yeah, the uniforms really are nice, aren't they? I think they would look great on you too.
そんな、恥ずかしくて、あんな丈の短いスカートは履けませんわ。
I mean, you look like you're wearing a short pencil skirt, so are you sure about that? I think so. So only imagine Maki if she were to become a waitress.
ダメです。お客様、そんなに見つめないでください。
I'll be honest, I saw this cut in before, but I thought it was Akari, not her mom. Oh, sexy and cute. Yeah, I could totally see that.
ケイスケ君?
Yeah, I could totally picture you in a waitress outfit.
もう、おばさんをからかうものではありませんよ。
Oh, she was absolutely lovely when she got bashful. I'm starting to understand how moe other people's wives could be. Bad touch, stranger danger. Please phrase it differently. Say like how moe older women could be. How moe like mature women could be. Don't fucking intentionally say other people's wives.
待たせたな。注文の品だ。
Oh, this is. Kurea brought over 3 separate dishes for the both of us, which contained fried shrimp, Vienna sausage, and what looked like a 20-gram steak as a centerpiece. Fragrant aroma of garlic sauce pillaring up off the sizzling meat was irresistible. Okay, thanks for the meat.
はい、私もいただきます。
Long way to meat. And even though it was sweet sake, this was a smorgasbord. Scrumptious. So good. I still feel that's the best.
やはり育ち盛りの男の子は違いますね。とても良い食べっぷりです。
Sorry, this is my first big eat in a while, so it just happened.
いいんですよ。足りなかったらどんどんおかわりしてくださいね。そうじゃないとお礼になりませんから。
Maki replied with a gentle smile. Ah, was she a goddess? At one point during our meal, Maki stopped and stared straight at me. What's the matter?
いえ、随分と引き締まった二の腕をされているのだなと思いまして。何か武道をやってらっしゃるんですか？
Oh, yes, it's roughly similar to Kobudo. My grandpa's obsessed, so he really hammered it into me when I was a kid.
そうですか。道理で結構いい体を。
She seems a bit too excited right there. Huh?
いえ、違うんです。決していやらしい目で見たわけじゃないんですよ。本当ですよ。
I don't know why, but this fucking this current situation reminds me of a certain DVD you can watch in Yakuza Kiwami 2. Or was it Kiwami 1? I think it was Kiwami 2. I'm all I say is ever since that anteater killed my husband, I've been so turned on. Like, what the fuck is that kind of line? But yeah, is this the good old is this the good old slowly accumulating widow horning? Is that what's going on? If it is, run. You will not survive. You will die of heat dehydration. I'm bad. I'm so sorry.
その夫とあなたが同じような雰囲気だったから。嫌だ。私ったら何を。
So both mother and daughter are dying. Like, ah, yes, you remind me of dad. Maki turned red in the blink of an eye as she dug her own grave. So cute. Here's sad Urabe Keisuke, learning all over again how adorable. Don't phrase it like that! Maki seemed to be a light eater, so I ended up devouring her share of the meat as well. Later, after we picked out which flavor ice cream we wanted for dessert, I could tell Maki had something on her mind and was having a rough time vocalizing it. And she finally broke the ice.
一つ相談に乗っていただけませんか？
What is it? After the delicious meat you treated me, I'd listen to just about anything you had to say.
はい。実は娘にプレゼントを贈ろうかなと思っていて。
Yeah, the cushion from earlier, right?
ええ、お詫びも兼ねたものなので、できるだけ趣味に合ったものをプレゼントしたいのですが。実は仕事に追われていたら、娘の誕生日が過ぎてしまい、直接謝りに行こうかと思いましたが、時間もなかなか取れなくて。
Oh, is that why you were going to the dorms?
まあ。
She must have loved her daughter like crazy. Someone forgot the birthday of my family, they'd say something like, ah, ha, 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 sorry, and that would be the end of it. And again, no one in my family had ever forgotten a birthday. In fact, we'd actually celebrate together and have a feast. I'm sure it would be devastating if a parent forgot their child's birthday. Sudden realization made me realize how stressed Maki was, even if only a little. And by the way, what does your daughter like?
団子三姉妹とか、あと桃が好きですね。
That cushion from earlier would be perfect then. You should try to get a mother-daughter peach cushion set.
お揃いですか?
Yeah, for her to bring the cushions by and say happy belated birthday, I'm sorry, then I'm sure she would forgive you. Then at the end, you throw in the punchline about buying a matching cushion for yourself.
そうですね。そうなればいいのですが。うん。でも、それが一番ですよね。わかりました。 ありがとうございます。大変参考になりました。
Honest God, it would be more funny if instead of finding out that that Maki is Akari's mom when they eventually meet, it would be funny if he somehow goes to Akari's room or something like that, and like in her room sees like a picture that has her in there, and he's like, wait, what? And she's like, oh, that's a picture of me and my mom. And he's like, Maki is your mom? And Akari's reaction is just like, wait, why do you know my mom? Wait, why do you call my mom by first name? That's gotta be awkward. You must really love your daughter if you're that worried about it.
はい。目に入れても痛くないくらいに。
Couldn't help but think of my own mom and Maki reply with that bright, full-fledged smile stretched across her face. Mom make faces like these when she looked at me or Ollie.
ですが私は愛情の注ぎ方を間違えたのかもしれません。
Huh?
いえ、何でもありません。そろそろ出ましょうか。
Oh, right. That final moment. Maki stirred her completely melted ice cream with her spoon and smiled somewhat lonesomely.
Today was楽しかったです。助けていただいた上に相談にまで乗っていただいて、いろいろとありがとうございました。
No, I'm the one who should be thanking you. It was really delicious.
食べっぷりが良くて、私もご馳走した甲斐がありました。
I'm grateful.
それでは失礼しますね。
Yes, please be careful not to fall.
ありがとうございます。では。
Now that Maki had finally eaten a proper, nutritious meal, she looked as dignified as ever as she walked out of the shop. I hope things went well between Maki and her daughter. Finished. It was a beautiful spring day. I was working diligently on my plastic models and sipping away at a stiff drink. This was heaven. It was the first day of Golden Week, but I still had to go to school tomorrow. That said, I was planning on going to the beach with Akari later this evening. I had some time to kill until the lunch, so I focused my attention on assembling some of my plastic models. Still, it was hard to believe that snapping the pieces together, applying some ink, as well as the occasional layer of paint and matte spray could produce such high quality. This was the pun-die menacing mechanism for you. Wow, though. So cool. Super units were so refined. Really didn't me. I really did need to line up a bunch of these mass production models side by side. If I had a couple more, I'd love to put together a diorama of them in battle with the Din. Oh, I was letting my mind wander again. Oh, there is Akari. It's almost that time. Hey, hi Akari, you're early.
寮の前にいるから準備できたら来て。
Sure, I'll be right there. Sounds kind of strange, but I guess meeting up together and talking to her would be the easiest way to determine what was wrong. I grabbed my pre-prepared bag and briskly left my room. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Akari, who had been waiting outside, was definitely acting somewhat strangely. Looked super cute with her blushing cheeks and constant fidgeting. Sup? Acting weird?
実はあまり気が進まなかったりするのよね。
Hey now, aren't you the one who invited me out?
誰も行かないなんて言ってないわよ。行くわよ。だから迎えに来たんじゃない。
She immediately lashed out at me. Childish behavior was cute in its own way, so I didn't let it get to me. In fact, it was making me even more curious. Nah, I get it. Sorry. So, why aren't you feeling up to it?
行けばわかるわよ。
翔子。
順次。
I see why she wasn't feeling up to it. I'm not feeling up to it anymore either. Akari and I had arrived at the beach at sunset. There was a large crowd of handsy and clingy couples flirting with each other on all sides. Oh yeah, this was kind of hot spot for couples, right? That only made sense, especially given it was holiday. Now I get it. You've got an intolerance for this sort of thing.
何よ。ケイスケはどうなのよ。
I don't really care either way. Luckily, when beat red from the erotic encounters of Only Forest, and the way she looked frustratingly, she frustratingly looked upward, only made me want to tease her more. Hey, Akari, can I say something?
何よ。
You know an awful lot about this island, right? Did you not know that it would be like this?
知ってたわよ。
Is it like this then? You got so worked up over the clue you found out yesterday that you did some klutzy?
舞い上がってないし、それからうっかり侍って言うな。
This reaction only made it worth teasing her. Found myself grinning ear to ear. And again, teasing Aki like this forever wasn't gonna do me any good. Sorry. Why don't we get to it and start our investigation?
ケイスケの意地悪。
She continued to pout, but she had made a point to follow after me the other day too. Even so.
ああ、かわいいよ。
Seriously, everywhere you went, there were couples kissing and hugging. Yeah, they're seriously going at it.
悔しいけど、ケイスケがいてくれてよかった。
Why?
こんなところに一人で来たら絶対浮いちゃうし。
Are you relieved since we look like a couple too? My comment made her face instantly flare up.
別に私たちはそんなんじゃないわよ。調査しに来てるだけだし。
Yeah, true. But couples around us don't know that. Which probably means we look like a lovey-dovey couple through and through. I thought never occurred to you? You really are a klutzy samurai.
うっかり侍じゃないもん。違うもん。
Right. Why don't we hurry up and get this over with then? Akari was adorable when she got so embarrassed. I'd assumed as much, but Akari really did have very little tolerance for this. For anything remotely sexual. It was a little disappointing to not see her bright red face anymore, but we should focus on the task at hand. By the way, about our investigation, you haven't really said much, but did you figure something out?
今まで調べた資料から浜辺の付近、それと山津筋群生区のあたりに何かあるんじゃないかってところまでは掴んだわ。
Narrowed it down a lot, but isn't that still a pretty wide
で
scope?
もお宝を隠そうとするなら必然的に地形は限られると思う。現状でも怪しい場所を調べれば何か手がかりを得られるはずよ。
Makes sense. Alright, let's get to it then.
気が進まないけど行くしかないわよね。
Following that, we looked around the coastline and beach. We searched every nook and cranny, including behind large boulders and even a small wayside shrine. However, we came up empty and were unable to continue our conversation with so many people around. All that was left to investigate was the isolated island with the coral path, but... This island's morality has gone even further off the rails.
でもここはもうこんなになってる。
言わないでよ。
Anyway, you wrapped your head around it. Those are definitely the unseemly voices of people who were a little preoccupied from behind those rocks. Thanks a bunch, really. Still, outdoor exhibitionists really did exist, huh? Hugging and kissing didn't really amount to much, but catching people in the middle of making love was as stimulating as you might expect. It was definitely not. It was difficult not to get turned on by it. To not get turned on by it. These people are about as immoral as can be, huh?
うるさいわね。言われなくても分かってるわよ。
Does bother you.
しょうがないでしょ。見たくなくても声は聞こえるし、つい気になっちゃうんだから。ああ、もう不潔よ。こんな人目のあるところでなんて。
She hugged herself and then turned beet red all the way to the tip of her ears. Seeing her act all shy and bashful in the situation kind of... Well, it made Akari seem pretty womanly.
愛してるよ。
すごい。こんな。
Akari put a face over her mouth and let out an inaudible scream in response to the lewd conversation those couples were having. Between Akari's shyness and the couple's moans, my metal rods was at risk of bursting with superhuman strength.
ケイスケ。
Don't!
もう無理。
Akari, bead red from shyness, tugged firmly on my sleeve. Having a look at me with such misty eyes would get anyone's heart pounding. But we haven't started investigating this area at all yet. She must have been pushed to her limits and looked up at me, shaking her head furiously with tears in her eyes.
こんなところにいたら、私、おかしくなっちゃうわよ。
Ooh, Akari was looking straight up at me. Suddenly my eyes were drawn to those plump yet tiny lips. Wait, what the hell are you thinking? Pull yourself together with Keisuke. We're in the middle of investigating mystic treasures. There's no time to let your heart race.
ケイスケ
Akari! No good. When I looked into her glistening eyes, it felt like I was being drawn to her pure lips. Why don't we call it quits for the day? I looked away in an attempt to shake this all off. Oh boy! I couldn't believe my heart was racing so hard. I wasn't a fantasy Buddha, but I was a guy first and foremost. I needed more training. Okay, let's head back. I attempted to turn around when... Oh, we got a CG. Lovely. Felt a sudden tug on my shirt and stopped in place. I looked back. Akari had shrunken up, head hung, and had a firm grip on the back of my shirt. Akari. Turned around and spoke to her, and Akari shook her head side to side in silence. This reaction was kind of cute, too. Well, she tried to stop me. Do you want to stay here a little longer or something? She shook her head back and forth again. I was a little disappointed, but yeah, I figured. Okay, we'll go then. But it won't be difficult to walk with you holding onto my back, back of me. Okay, it's hard. As expected, she shook her head side to side in silence. Couldn't even begin to understand why she had stopped me. The desperate way she was acting was crazy cute. Yeah, anyway, setting her cuteness aside, hey, are we going or aren't we? She finally spoke. She must calm down a little.
ケイスケに任せる。
Was she letting me take the initiative now? Akari was usually the one to drag me along. What's this? Did Akari want to stay here with me a little longer? Could I assume that's the sort of invitation she was giving me? Nah, that wasn't it. Yeah, it shouldn't be. Akari was just embarrassed and unable to make any calm decisions. That's why she was relying on me. Given how things were going, I had to assume as much, or else I was afraid I'd make a mistake of some sort with her.
ケイスケ。
Holy crap, those glistening eyes and her trembling, frail voice were unbelievably adorable. Now that our investigation had been derailed, we really should call it good for the day. For me, and for Akari too, I was sure. But, alright, let's go home. Akari gave me a firm nod and trailed behind me without releasing my shirt from her death grip. She seemed to be reacting much more childishly than usual, too. We hadn't made any progress whatsoever on our investigation. However, getting to see such a vulnerable side of Akari was actually kind of nice. What's wrong?
ごめんなさい。もう大丈夫だから。
When we found ourselves on a familiar path, Akari finally came back to her senses and released my shirt with flushed cheeks. She turned to face her and smiled. I guess what happened back on that island was a little overstimulating for you, huh?
知ってはいたけど、あんなにすごかったなんて。しかも、孤島じゃエッチなことまで。
True enough. You must have been extremely embarrassed. Letting out a quiet groan, her eyes quickly darted away. The way she fidgeted and twisted around in place was cute and beyond sexy. You want to hug her on the spot? Wait, no. Listen! If we want to do a proper investigation, we should go in the morning instead. It's like that at night and all.
そうね。夕方はあれだし。
Yeah, right. Totally crazy at night.
そうね。
Oh, this kind of felt like, super troubling, yet also a little bit comfortable.
あのね、ケイスケ。それなら、明日の朝、早起きして行ってみない？
Yeah, sounds good. Make sure not to stay up too late then.
また一緒にね。
Right. Why don't we head home for the day then? Akari's shy, smiling face died in the colors of the sunset, pierced the deepest reaches of my heart. Just gonna call this part MILF alert or something.
おはよう。
Good morning. Just like we promised, Akari met up with me the next thing in the morning in front of met up with me the next morning in front of the men's dorm. Talking is hard. She looked much calmer now compared to last night. However, she started blushing the second we met up and appeared to be a little bothered by what she saw.
昨日はごめんなさい。島のあれを見てたらなんかいっぱいいっぱいになっちゃって。
It's okay. Got to see something plenty cute myself, so I'm happy.
からかわないでってば。
Sorry. She was cute as hell, especially when she fidgeted like that. She was making my heart bang right off the bat this morning. I was a little surprised though. I'm normally so calm and collected. I didn't know you had such a childish side.
言わないで誰にも言っちゃやだ。
Got it. Won't tell us so.
約束よ。喋ったらただじゃおかないわよ。
I get it already. Come on, we're investigating the place we couldn't make it to yesterday, right?
なんかごまかされた気がする。
Started walking down the sidewalk, and Akari silently followed after me. I quickly glanced behind me and noticed Akari's cheeks were puffed up in a huff. She had almost never done anything so childish when we were at the academy. Something similar to a superiority complex bubbled up inside of me, since it felt like I'd witnessed a side to Akari no one had ever seen before. Kana probably has. At least like this side. She probably hasn't seen the side of her just like shutting down due to experiencing a couple engaging in exhibitionism. Upon our arrival on the beach, we saw people enjoying the morning sunlight by walking their dogs, out on a brisk jog, or otherwise. It's completely different from how it was last night.
こっちがあるべき姿よ。これならちゃんと探し物ができそうね。
A much happier looking Akari dashed along the beach.
ほらほら、ケイスケ、こっちよ。早く早く。
Righto. Where she smiled and waved to me from a slight distance away was positively dazzling. Later, we looked around the beach and Solitary Island together, but nothing remotely suspicious caught our eye. Guess I'm panning
やっ
out.
ぱりここじゃないのかしら。
Had a hard time imagining that a mystic treasure would be out in the open anyway. Which meant we might need to research the subject further. Keyword bowels implied that it was somewhere underground or in the ocean. I don't think there's a limit to how much more we... don't you think there's a limit to how much more we can investigate on our own? Would it be better if we asked the ninjas for their help?
それはちょっと難しいかな。忍者さんたちは今警備やパトロールに人員を割いているから、それに人を動かすとなると坂上家や西園寺家の許可も取らないといけないし。
It's me, a family doesn't have a ninja squadron of its own.
ちゃんといるわよ。でも吉備宮の屋敷で秘宝の警備を行ってるし、それに。
Besides,
ごめん。家の話はあんまりしたくないの。
I see. Akari didn't seem to have a great relationship with her relatives. It was difficult for her to ask them for their assistance. Well, it's fine. Everyone's got their own circumstances. Don't sweat it.
圭介。
And after I said something kind of cool too, you're totally ruining everything in my stomach. Quit growling at me. Don't respond. Is this some sort of comedy act? Must have said one hell of a funny bone. Akari was holding her stomach and howling with laughter. I was getting laughs out of her, I guess that worked out.
ああ、お腹痛い。
Well, yeah, anyone would hurt after laughing that hard.
ごめんなさい。笑いすぎたわ。ねえ、ケイスケ。どうせ朝食べてないでしょ？
Yeah, that's right. I feel like the entirety of this route is going to involve him being fucking fed by Akari and Maki. Like every day, like almost like every scene. It's gonna be like, ah yes, here's food. Ah yes, here's food. Ah yes, here's food.
それじゃお腹だってすくわよ。
She said with a soft smile while setting down her backpack. That mean?
またおにぎり作ってきたんだけど、食べる？
Alright, I love so. I was actually kind of looking forward to it.
それは嬉しいな。今日はちょっと具を変えてみたの。お口に合うといいんだけど。
Yakari brand is trustworthy. It's alright, no problem.
はい。こっちがおかかチーズ。そっちがネギ味噌。
Yet another masterpiece.
そうかな。どっちもそれほど手間はかからないけど。はい。お味噌汁。
Oh, it is Nameko mushroom broth today. Started out with the onion miso soup. Ooh. I done an intentional groan. The taste of the miso was outstanding, and the flavor had soaked into the onion as well. On stuffing my cheeks with it, and the rice happiness filled my entire
どう
mouth.
かな。
Yeah, tasty.
よかった。
I want some ice cold sake, but I obviously couldn't say that. So frustrating. Gobbling up a piece, I scarfed down some miso soup. Looks like it used red miso paste today. Fragrance of the red miso was irresistible. Yep, rice miso had a bizarre affinity. Wouldn't take any objections. This is, let's see. Oh, the richness of the cheese and flavor of Onigokko was beyond excellent. Yeah, this is delicious. No one would have thought to combine cheese and Onigokko.
炊きたてだともっと美味しいわよ。炊きたてご飯にチーズをのせておかかをまぶして醤油をかけると似たような味になるから試してみて。
Yeah, I'll try it out.
ほらほら、子供みたいにがっつかないの。
She could say that all she wanted, but anything this tasty was bound to spark an appetite. Enjoyed the rest of the onigiri in a daze and gulped down the miso soup. Thanks for the meal, that was incredible.
お粗末様でした。ケイスケって本当に美味しそうに食べるから作りがいがあるわね。
Oh yeah, no one alive could stay sad if they were to eat something that delicious.
いるわよ、そういう人。
Huh?
なんでもない。気にしないで。
That only makes me worry about it even more.
余計な詮索する人って印象悪いわよ。
That insist I won't ask, but you kinda have this look like you wanted me to.
してないもん。
Her mouth turned to a grimace and she turned away. Okay, was right though. Better stop trying to pry any further while I still could. Alright, let me thank you for the meal. I'll go buy drinks. Nectar work for you?
うん。
After running along the beach, I eventually found myself a paved road. I knew I'd offered to grab her that nectar drink, but would I be lucky enough to find one at a nearby vending machine? There it is. Fortunately, I spotted the can in line out the very first vending machine I happened upon. I guess it was a much more popular drink on this island than I realized. Yeah, thanks for waiting.
ありがとう。
Less than 3 minutes had passed, and I returned to Akari's side with a chilled drink in hand. By the way, I only bought enough for Akari. I had no intention of drinking some, so uber sweet first thing in the morning.
おいしい。やっぱりネクタルは百薬の長よね。
Ah, mood improved in a single go. Nectar was fearsome. Wait, huh? They're called buckets, so basically the same thing. If you look closely, they both had a pretty similar facial structure. Both had beautiful black hair. Would Akari look eerily similar to Maki when she got older?
何？私の顔に何かついてる？
Oh. Nah. Just thinking that you remind me a lot of a lady I ran into town the other day.
女の人？誰？
Oh, well, she said her name was Inukai, the mom of some student in the women's dorm.
なんだ、そっか。
She apparently got in some sort of fight with her daughter. She said she was looking for a birthday present. She could use it as a chance to make up with her.
そう。うん、きっと大丈夫よ。お互い歩み寄る気持ちがあれば仲直りできるわ。歩み寄る気持ちがあればね。
Akari's voice sounded somewhat distant, sad, and tinged with envy. Things didn't seem to be going well between her and her mother after all. But she was comparing this to her own situation. Akari.
ごめん。なんからしくないね、私。
Akari stretched her arms over her head and smiled. However, that smile looked anything but genuine. Almost like she was silently telling me not to touch the subject any further. I definitely didn't feel like delving into the topic any further than I already had.
それにしても、うちの寮に犬飼なんて名字の子いたかしら。名前は？
I asked, but she wouldn't tell me her daughter's name.
さすがにそれじゃあわからないわね。
Yeah, a lot of her mannerisms reminded me of Maki, actually. Her aura and outward appearance, especially her hair, were also strangely similar. Of course, it came as no surprise that Maki's mature charm and Akari's vitality and so forth were completely different elements. By the way, when was your birthday?
3月27日だけど、それがどうかした？
Oh, I was just thinking we should celebrate your birthday March though. Guess it already passed. It's always next year.
ありがとう。じゃあ楽しみにしておこうかな。そういうケイスケは？
October 10th?
そっか。覚えとくね。
Akari's smile kind of tickled my heart. Okay, better set that aside for now. Akari's birthday only just passed recently. Matched up with what Maki's present talked too. It was a strange coincidence that they both like nectar, so there was a high probability they were somehow related. But probe them for more information later. He's letting his mind work. The bell chimed throughout the campus and signaled the end of the school day. Everyone left the classroom in small groups and headed off to their respective clubs, homes, or to venture out on a quick side trip. Packed my things out of my bag and looked out the window. The weather was as great out there today as ever. We had checked out around the beach this morning, so I wondered where we'd be going today. I was lost in thought, slipping my school bag when Akari walked up to my desk.
お待たせ。じゃあ行きましょうか。
Yeah, where are we going today?
店長？ちょっとごめんね。はい、吉備宮です。はい。はい。またですか？はい。はい。いや、でも私予定が。いや、わかりますけど、別の子に。はい。もう泣かないでくださいよ。しょうがないですね。はい、わかりました。それじゃ。
Glad you managed at the tea kettle again.
シフト予定だった子が病欠したんですって。ごめんね、ケイスケ。調査は明日でいいかな。
Sure, I don't mind. More importantly, are you heading straight to the tea kettle after this?
そうだけど。
I'll walk with you. It won't amount to much, but I'll order some when we get there.
通ってくれるのは嬉しいけど、お財布は大丈夫なの？
Oi controls the purse strings, but I've got enough cash that I can order the sweet sake at least.
気持ちは嬉しいけど、お金は大事にしなさいね。無理しちゃダメよ。
Right. I was simply captivated by her gentle smile. It was like this supernatural feeling as if my heart instantly calmed. Strange sensation indeed.
どうかした？
Oh, nothing. No,
じゃあ、行きましょう。
Yeah. Obviously couldn't tell her that I was seriously enchanted by her.
そういえば、明日お休みよね。
We walked along the sidewalk and made our way to the tea kettle together. Along the way, Akari seemed to have recalled something and broke the ice. Yeah, Golden Week is finally in full swing.
明日予定空いてた？
Yeah, if not, I'd make time. So, where are we going?
ありがとう。私のわがままに付き合ってくれて。
I'm telling you, don't worry about it. I'm your partner.
そうだったわね。それで行き先だけど、山筒群生区の先に宮島大洞窟の入り口があるの。そこに行ってみようと思って。
Oh, we're going spelunking. That sounds like fun. Huh? Can you say that areas of limits to all but authorized personnel?
あら、私は関係者よ。
Ah, I get it. Now she mentioned it, that makes
まあ、
sense.
正式な許可は取ってないけど。
Wait, is that really okay?
大丈夫、大丈夫。現場にはロープが1本張ってあるだけだし、黙って入っても平気よ。
No, that's clearly not the
いい
issue.
のよ。現場の判断ってやつ。うちの頭の固い連中に許可なんて求めてたら、私おばあちゃんになっちゃうわよ。どうしたのよ、ポカーンとして。
Oh, I've just had this impression of you ever since we first met, so I never thought you'd just suggest something like that.
そうかな。
Then again, she lost during the recent Ura incident and had a tendency of flying into random fits of rage. But I could certainly accept that side of her. In that sense, perhaps that only proved how poor her relationship was with the members of the Kibutsumiya household. Well, got it in any case. I'll make sure I'm free tomorrow.
朝早めに迎えに行くから。
Akari seemed much more chipper than before. Kinda asked me to stick by Akari's side to ensure she wouldn't do anything rash when it came to matters concerning the Tsuchigumo. But maybe she'd mellowed out bit. Maybe she'd mellowed out a bit on her own. I assumed her grudge against them hadn't gone away, but Akari was far and away cuter when she was smiling like this. As usual, the tea kettle was packed with students on their way home from school. I took up a spot by the window and sipped away at my sweet sake. With an inadvertent glance out the window, I happened to notice a figure peeking inside the shop from outside. Hi, Maki. That was Maki, wasn't it? What was she doing? She'd be unsure what to order. She wasn't really acting like it, more like she was searching for someone to decide. I was getting curious. I should go have a quick chat with her. I'm gonna head out, Akari. Gotta have to check.
もう行っちゃうの？
Huh?
いや、なんでもない。ほら、最近閉店までいること多かったから。
I guess I have been. Well, here's my bill. Good luck with your work.
ありがとうございました。また明日ね。
I never expected her to try and stop me. This has never happened before. How should I put it? Akari's voice actually got me kind of choked up. Yeah, it was kind of nice seeing her with a harrowing look on her face, too. Now then, I left the shop and scanned my surroundings. Maki may have gone into hiding and was peeking inside the tea kettle from behind the street lamp. With a smirk, I headed over to her. She seemed to have noticed me as well.
ケイスケ君。
Hello, saw you from inside.
そうですか。
Are you not going in?
ええ。何を頼もうかしらと迷ってて、それで。
Her eyes were trembling. Did she feel the need to try and trick me? She was certainly interested in someone inside the shop, but refused to go inside. But why, though? Even though they were in the middle of a fight, Maki was still worried about her daughter. However, that didn't make it any easier for her to confront her face to face. Her daughter was most likely inside the shop. Might as well give a leading question a shot. I assume you came because you're worried about your daughter, right, Kibutsumiya?
どうして？
So I was right.
参りましたね。
She smiled wryly and slightly hung her head.
少しお時間いいですか？ここでは娘に、あかりに見つかってしまいますから。
She quietly replied. I followed Maki's lead and we found ourselves at the empty harbor after regular service times had ended. Seagulls cried out in the evening sky, which still had some lingering hues of blue. I'm actually, I'm pleasantly surprised that he fucking cracked this case wide open on his own. Any other fucking visual novel would have him only find out when they, point it out to him. I'll be right back also. I have returned. Anyways, I already read that.
ケイスケ君、どうして私が吉備津宮の人間だと分かったのですか？
Your beautiful black hair and your facial features reminded me a lot of Akari's. I'm sure that when she gets older, she'll look a lot like you.
相変わらずお上手ね。
There was a tinge of bittersweet emotion behind her bashful smile. The two of you really like that nectar drink, have said that peaches are the best medicine, and can be incredibly careless at
よ
times.
く見ているのですね。
Yeah, my grandpa really drilled that into me at a young age. Watch closely and think carefully, but act boldly.
いいおじいさんですね。
Akari said something similar, like mother, like daughter.
そうですか。
Akari replied and briefly fell silent.
ケイスケ君の言う通り、私は吉備津宮真希、あかりの母であり、吉備宮家の現当主です。
He said with her eyes cast downward, seemingly with
私
resignation.
のこと、あかりから聞きましたか？
Yes, most of how strict you are.
あの子は私を恨んでいるでしょうね。
Couldn't say, but she doesn't like talking about her family. I don't have that great of an impression to go by.
はっきり言うのですね。
Sorry, I'm not the type of guy who can lie.
ね。でも、無理もありません。
Based on Maki's expression, I could tell she had completely given up and assumed it was beyond her control. However, were some traces of regret and loneliness mixed in with it. Maki, you love Akari, don't you?
はい。たった一人の私の娘。たった一人残された私の家族ですから。
Maki replied with misty eyes. Her sad tone wavered, but I was certain she was telling the truth. However, Akari's hatred for her family was also genuine. What was going on? Was there some odd disagreement of sorts going on between them? Looked like Maki really wanted to make up with her daughter too. Maybe I could help somehow. If it's alright with you, could I ask about your situation? Might be able to help.
いえ、お気持ちは嬉しいですが、あなたにそこまでお願いすることはできません。
Well, yes, I do imagine it's fairly complicated, but I don't think things are great the way they are for you or for Akari.
わかってます。わかってます、そんなこと。ケイスケ君に、外の人間であるあなたに、吉備津宮家の何が。
Maki! Her knees gave out from under her yet again before she could as so much as finish her sentence. Are you alright?
すみません。
Grandpa told me first aid, but he obviously hadn't taught me real medicine. Still, anyone would realize her health was questionable after collapsing like this every single time we'd met. Don't use that lack of sleep excuse on me again today, okay? Shall I call an ambulance?
いえ、平気です。母は強いのですよ。
What are you saying? You're pale and sweating up a storm.
少し休めば平気ですか？
Her breathing was strained and she seemed feverish. I tried to take her pulse, but it was so weak that it was difficult to count. She was still fully conscious. Definitely need to see a doctor right away. It would be terrible if the worst were to happen. I'll call an ambulance. That I pulled out my cell phone when
やめてください。
she pleaded to me, nearly screaming, my hands
そ
stabbed.
れだけはやめてください。お願いです。
For her to be so opposed to being taken to the hospital must mean either she had snuck out of a hospital or something else was going
大丈
on.
夫ですから。少し休めば大丈夫ですから。それだけは。
I really should call an ambulance right away. However, I couldn't help but hesitate when I saw that sad look in Maki's eyes. Understand. Calling an ambulance the next time you collapse, okay?
ありがとうございます。
Couldn't quite pin it down, but there seemed to be a mixture of relief and agony in her voice. It would be great if I could ease her pain even just a little. Don't think for it. She had perked right up last time she drank her nectar. I'll go buy nectar for you, please wait here. Surprisingly enough, Maki sadly shook her head side to
い
side.
え、いいです。その代わり、一つお願いが。
What is it?
もう少しこのままでいてくれませんか？
Huh? An unexpected comment left her mouth. A moment of doubt in my
お願い
ears.
します。少しだけで構いませんから。
Well, that much really isn't asking for
あ
much.
りがとうございます。お願い。少し強く抱きしめてください。
I was a little confused, as you would probably expect, but when she gazed at me with those sad eyes, I silently wrapped my arms around her. Tears seeped into Maki's eyes, and before long they began to run down her cheeks. Maki's old man passing away also meant that Maki's husband had died. Her daughter eventually left home and the relationship deteriorated. Maki was all alone in that house.
あなた、あかり、どうして？
I had no idea what had happened between Akari and Maki. She didn't seem like that heartless a person to be. Someone so lonely and in such poor health couldn't be all that bad if she could cling to a brat like me.
あなた、あかり、助けて。
However, she couldn't vocalize those sympathies. She didn't have a clue why she would rely on someone like me. All I could do was remain silent and embrace Maki as she continued to sob.
もう大丈夫です。立てますから。
Right. When I relaxed my arms, Maki stood up like nothing had happened. I'll walk you home.
もう平気ですから。ケイスケ君から元気をもらいましたから。
But it would be horrible if you collapsed on the way
本
there.
当に平気です。そんなに心配しなくても大丈夫ですよ。
Then why don't I at least call a car?
ここへはお忍びで来ているのです。
Huh?
吉備宮家は御三家の要。一度その当主の座につけば、プライベートな時間を持つことは許されません。ここにこうしていること自体が罪になります。ですから、私のことは誰にも言わないでほしいのです。
Why?
ごめんなさい。もう行きますね。あかりのこと、よろしくお願いします。
Yes. Maki looked so frail as she quietly bowed her head and disappeared into the night. It was a difficult scene to watch.
ケイスケ君に、外の人間であるあなたに、吉備宮家の何が。
She wasn't wrong. I didn't know much about the Kibitsumiya household. The dad a grandpa had given me wasn't so detailed as to include their family matters. But anyway, it was none of my business. However, I started to wonder if there was something I could do to improve Akari's and Maki's relationship all the same. The following day marked the beginning of Golden Week, and the day I promised to meet up with Akari. Later we headed to the Azalea cluster together. Ooh, awesome. We turned off the side of the road, the usual road to school, made our way through the hilly path, and arrived in an area dyed with the violet-pink azaleas in full bloom. That looks more like red to me, but okay.
ちょうど今が季節なのよ。ここは変わってないな。
Akari must have really liked this place too. She stared with a full smile plastered across her face. A warm spring breeze rocked the azaleas and fiddled with Akari's black hair. When she softly held down her frazzled hair was sexy and beautiful simultaneously. We've been here before.
昔ここでよくカナたちと遊んでたのよ。
Really?
ええ、ここうちから近いの。時々
Akari immediately shut her mouth and looked down at the ground lonesomely. Nostalgic. Place of memory. She was once close with her family. Given that, I could more or less guess where she was leading. So, you were about to say mom, right?
あなた耳がいいのね。
Good hearing and good intuition. I can surmise things aren't going so well with your family either. What happened? I did think it would be kinder of me to pretend I didn't hear. I hadn't noticed. But there was the incident with Maki yesterday. I understood painfully well how much a mother could care for her child. But I still didn't know why Akari hated her mother. Possibly I'd like to learn why. Maki had pushed her body to the breaking point and put her position as head of the Kibutsumiya family in jeopardy to try and meet with Akari. If it was within my power, I'd like to help those two's gears mesh and start turning again. That feeling pushed me forward.
人は変わっていくの。あの頃ここで一緒に遊んでくれたお母さんは、お母さんは吉備津宮家の当主っていう化け物になってしまったの。そしていつかは私もああいう人になってしまう。
Akari pursed her lips and gazed downward. A wry, resigned smile crept to her face.
だから私は強くなるの。あの人にもあの家にも頼らなくてもいいような強い大人になるの。お父さんのことすら忘れて仕事にだけ生きる。そんな冷たい化け物にはなりたくない。
She clenched her fists tightly and spouted out all the calmness she'd assuredly been bottling up inside her heart like a broken dam. Tears suddenly formed in the corners of her eyes. Sorry, I shouldn't have asked that, huh? Gently patted the top of her head. Rather than brushing my hand aside, she wiped away the tears from her eyes again and again. Still, Akari's depiction of Maki was quite different from my impression of her. At the very least, Maki didn't seem even remotely like the cold-hearted, empty person Akari portrayed her to be. It would make sense if it was nothing more than some sort of weird misunderstanding, but I doubt Akari could reply calmly if I were to pry any further. I'm sorry. That's enough about this. Come on, let's go. The entrance is up ahead. Right? Akari now with a sniffle. She had to brush her head as we stepped into the cavern. Wow, there's a place like this here?
ええ、言ったでしょ。いかにも何かありそうだって。
Yeah, that could be. Huge passageway continued on throughout the cavern as far as the eye could see. Yes, it literally continued on forever. We should have walked a considerable distance from the entrance by now, but there was absolutely no end in sight. To make matters worse, the path was becoming relatively intricate. Man, it's seriously huge in here, so it'll take a ton of effort just to make any headway.
そうね。
In times like these are when bees shine brightest. Took a close, stick out of my bag, snapped it straight into the middle, and set it on the ground. That will make a great landmark on our return trip. Afterward, I took the lead and proceeded into the cavern while illuminating our path with my light. On the other hand, Akari was following behind me, and had said exceptionally little since we entered the cave. What's wrong? Not feeling well? Did our conversation earlier about your mom bother you that much?
気になってない。
Oh, you're clearly bothered by
気に
it.
なってないったら。
His reaction, the usually calm Akari, seemed extraordinarily childish at the moment. Come on, we're not going to get anywhere if you lose your temper now, you know.
私は冷静よ。
Oh, man, let's just keep going then.
ええ。
I guess Akari was a lost cause today. Given how things were going, I couldn't expect her to keep her usual composure. For the sake of getting our hands on a solid clue, it might be best that I avoid bringing up this matter for the time being. What's up? Turned around at the sound of Akari's voice.
動くな。
You're...
ケイスケ。
Feikuda had taken Akari from behind and had a bow shooting lodged against her throat. Unbelievable. I hadn't noticed her presence at
ど
all.
うやらこの先に秘宝があるようだな。 この女の命が大事なら動くなよ。
ケイスケ、私のことはいいから逃げて。
You got me. I never thought this would happen. I imagined you would take Akari captive instead of me. Positions were totally reversed. I naturally had no intention of running away, but one false move and Akari could get hurt. For the record, I did have a few of my Ura tools on hand, and I had seen this woman's movements once before. I could probably capture her if we went head to head, and I gave it everything I had. However, getting mixed up in a fight with her might lead to Akari discovering my true identity. Besides, even if I could take her down, I was powerless until I got Akari away from her.
何してるのケイスケ、逃げて。約束でしょ。
この場から逃げたらこの女を殺す。
So she says, but I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place.
はははじゃないわよ。危ないことになったら逃げるって言ったじゃない。
Dangerous to him. I did, but think about it. It's pretty obvious this is leading to a bad end, where if she, after she kills you, she'll chase me down and end me too.
よくわかっているじゃないか。変態のくせに少しは頭が回るようだな。
Perv.
質問は許さん。いいから早く秘宝のもとへ案内しろ。
ケイスケ。
Right. Right. You don't know exactly where it is, though. Don't whine at me if I get lost.
騙そうとしても無駄だぞ。さっさとしないとこの女を殺すからな。
Damn, looks like she was convinced that we knew the Mystic Treasure's location. If I made too much of a fuss and lost my composure, Akari would be in danger. Better just behave for now. Got it. What does he say? Go on, Akari. Show her the way.
ダメよ。
案内しないならお前を殺した後であいつも殺すぞ。それでもいいのか。
わかったわ。
Akari reluctantly agreed now that I had been taken as an indirect hostage. 3 sets of footsteps echoed through the cavern. Neither me, Akari, or the fake Ura spoke. Okay, I need to find some sort of opening to save Akari from the fake Ura. Guess that means you really were after the Mystic Treasures.
そうだ。そのために前からお前たちをつけていた。そこの女なら吉備宮家が隠し持つ秘宝のありかを知ってるだろうしな。
やっぱり私たちをつけていたのはあなただったのね。
うん。まさかそこの変態に気配を悟られるとは思わなかったが、結果的に秘宝が手に入ればそれでいい。
You happen to know what sort of mystic treasure is lying ahead?
ああ、おおよその見当はついている。吉備宮家が隠し持つ秘宝、生命の桃がこの先にあるのだろう。
どうしてあなたが生命の桃を知ってるの？
質問は許さんと言った。つべこべ言わず先に進め。
Incidentally, what will you do once we lead you to the mystic
も
treasure?
ちろん用済みだ。
Boo-hoo, so we're gonna die soon.
誰がそんなこと。いや、そうだ。お前らの命は私の紫三寸だぞ。
This woman just corrected herself. Maybe she was actually an unexpectedly good person at her core. By the sound of her, Akari wouldn't come to any harm as long as we didn't disobey her. Oh, another fork in the road. Wait 1 second.
お前何をする気だ。懐に何を隠し持っている。
A glow stick. That'd make a good landmark on our return trip, right?
そういうことか。なら早くしろ。3分間待ってやる。
That's pretty generous! Having gotten the fake Ura's permission, I left the glow stick on the ground, but I was starting to run low. Just how long was this cavern anyway? Now we've delved this far, it's almost like a labyrinth. Seems like there'd be traps and stuff
お
too.
宝泥棒が出るくらいだもの。トラップが仕掛けてあったってわけじゃないわ。
Akari must calm down a little. With a sarcastic expression, she rapped at the nearby wall.
おい、今なんか音がしなかったか。
そう？
Akari stared blankly while I and the fake Ura looked around when...
なんだ、地震か。
Hey Akari, what did you touch?
なんで私なのよ。
Because you're the klutzy samurai here!
うっかり侍言うな。っていうか本当に何これ。
おい、あれはなんだ。
What the hell is that? Source of the rumbling came from a massive boulder rolling down the corridor. Yes, the classic death trap you saw in all the action movies. Shit, where's Indiana Jones when you need him?
お前らと心中なのまっぴらごめんだ。さらば。
The fake Ura removed Akari's restraint and attempted to escape, but Akari then missed the opening she'd been given.
逃がすもんですか。
Akari tackled the Fegura and pushed her down to the ground. However, the Fegura was equipped formidably. She put both hands on the ground, did series backflips, and instantly distanced herself from us.
目印は有効活用させてもらう。ここは知事お預けだ。死んでくれるなよ。
Akari shouted at the top of her lungs to try and stop her, but the Fegura naturally ran off without looking back.
逃げられた。また逃げられた。
Hey, what are you doing, Akari? We need to get out of here too!
あれって
Just then, Akari spotted an old book on the ground. The Fegura had likely dropped it when Akari pushed her down. The giant boulder drawing ever closer was a higher priority right now. We needed to get away quick.
せめて手がかりだけでも。
Idiot, stop it! Akari reached out for the dropped book in front of her and clutched it to her chest. God damn it, there was no time! Even if we tried to run away now, it would catch up and turn us into roadkill in no time. Better find somewhere that we could hide. He looked around and set my eyes on a sizable indentation in the wall. This way, Akari! He grabbed Akari's arm without any hesitation and dove into the alcove. And then, an extraordinarily loud rumble passed directly by us. The sound eventually grew quieter, and then after an impressively loud crash, completely stopped.
いた
Yeah, sounds like it. The thought only occurred to me for an instant. I feel like I just heard a really awful sound at our feet just now.
何
I've got a dangerous feeling about this spot too. Just as my eyes locked with Akari's. I was like when you've reached the peak of an incline on a roller coaster and then barreling down the tracks. For a brief moment, it felt like I was floating in midair, and there was a sudden uncomfortable sensation of like balls rising upward. Ah! My body quickly realized the sensation I felt was the ground giving underneath my feet, and I was falling into a deep, deep hole. No! Oh, my ass! Oh, my ass seemed to have slammed straight into the ground. It hurt like crazy. However, pain was proof you were alive. What up a kiss, my boy? Try bear with it. Ow, ow, ow. Where are we? The groan had patted off my butt, and the pain rapidly began to fade. I wiped the sand off my body and quickly looked upward. Light seemed to be shining through from above. They most likely fell from that ceiling. It's hard to tell in the dark, but it looked to be roughly 7 or 8 meters high. Wait, that's right, Akari. Hey, Akari, are you alright? I have a weird bad feeling about this. I rushed to Akari's side and pulled her into my arms and wiped the dust from her face. No.
大丈夫
But you hurt your foot.
落ちた時にちょっとひねったかも
Let me take a look. Take off your socks. This isn't the time to be embarrassed. Shut up and let me check. After removing her socks, she applied pressure to the injury with one hand and pointed at the light of her cell phone with the other. It was a bit red and swollen. Based on the pain she was feeling, it didn't seem to be fractured. Also, it wasn't bent in any odd direction. Looks like you got away with a sprain, you're lucky. Everything else alright? You didn't hit your head or anything? Try moving your fingers. Can you feel all of them?
大丈夫痛いのは足だけ
Good, she wasn't bleeding, was fully conscious, and her body appeared to be fully operational. Thank goodness, neither of us seem to be in critical
圭介
shape.
は大丈夫
Yep, I hurt my butt, but I'm alright, no problem.
そうよかった
Now then, next comes... Stop mid-sentence, clench my fist tight. You dumbass! Gently plopped my fist onto Akari's head and cried out in a stern voice. What the hell were you thinking back there? If that had gone sideways, you'd gotten killed! And that thought never occurred to you!
でも偽裏が本
All that for some precious clue? You can't catch the fake Gura if you're dead, you moron!
ごめんなさい
Astounding. It felt like a father yelling at a terrified little child. God, don't make me worry like that. I was scared to death back there.
ごめんなさい
Well, I'm sorry for hitting you. But seriously, promise me you'll never do something like that again. Ever. Again, I mean. I asked to gently pat at the spot I'd struck.
もうしない
Good. Let's figure out what our current situation is then. I After Akari nodded obediently, he gave her a playful boop on the head and took another look around. It was surprisingly dingy, but this isn't actually the shrine. My earlier snarky comment, ignore that. It was pretty dingy, but there appeared to be enough light that I could make out her face. Surrounded by boulders, and the only exit was the hole from which we had fallen. Didn't look impossible to shimmy our way up the rocks, but Akari was injured.
ねえ、ケイスケ、明かり貸して。
Sure. I'd accidentally dropped our primary floodlight when we were running away, so I took my spare mini flashlight out of my bag and handed it to her.
やっぱり。ケイスケ、これ見て。
Akari pointed the light on a set of 3 equally tall rocks, which were approximately 10 steps ahead of us, that seemed to be encircling something. The replacement had to be intentional. This page.
例の三つ子岩かもしれないわ。
Akari limped over to the stones, and I followed after her. Look, there's an indentation all 3 of the triplet stones. Looks like a sphere or something could fit
三
in.
つ子岩に守られしその宝、竜の腹渡にて光を食らう。祖は王の証。天女に与えられし秘宝。三つのしもべに守られ、深き闇の奥に眠る。この岩がその三つ子岩で、秘宝を守っているとしたら。
Akari held the light directly over the center of the triplet stones and wiped away the dust on the ground.
ねえ、ケイスケ、見て。
This is... Scrunched up beside her and to investigate. It was pretty weathered at this point, but there were signs that something had been dug up. Someone was definitely here.
ええ。でも掘った跡があるってことは、御三家が先に見つけて、よそへ移しちゃったのかもね。
Yeah.
やっぱり無駄足だったか。
Well, we solved the mystery of the magic mirror, didn't we? These rocks are the triplet stones. If you consider consume the light upon the dragon's bowels to be the great cavern of Miyajima, it would be consistent. The sign of the king was probably referring to the mystic treasure. Mystic treasure had apparently been recovered already, though.
そうね。でも結局空振りだったのよね。ちょっと寂しい。
But it was fun. Because of you, we looked through a bunch of documents and conjecture, ran around all over the place, and sent us on a Hollywood-esque adventure. Was it not at least a little exciting for you? It was for me.
そうね。ワクワクした。
Akari replied with a laugh.
でも、偽裏には逃げられちゃった。
She bit down on her lower lip. There was nothing we could have done about that. She's pretty clever, never thought she'd take you captive either. Besides, neither I nor Akari sensed her presence this time around. It was honestly a huge
本
shock.
当にごめんなさい。でも次こそは必ず捕まえてやるんだから。
Yeah, that's the spirit. Guess she wasn't that upset after all. Good. Alright, go ahead and sit over there for a second. I'll treat your injury. Stay still for me, okay? My first aid kit had everything from antipyretics, dressings and bandages, antiseptics, bug bite treatments, to antacids. But of course, I didn't have the one thing I actually needed, cold compress. For now, my top priority was to chill the swollen area. I dampened a handkerchief in a body of water deeper inside the cave. The water... and gave the water a taste while I was at it. Salty. It's just connected to the ocean somewhere. If things got dicey, we could likely escape via underwater canal. I had to do something about Akari's injury in order to make that possible. Alright, Akari, hold out your foot one more time.
こう？
She timidly held out her foot, and I placed a well-wrung handkerchief against it to chill the wound. It's just temporary, but you need to keep the injured area cool. Try to rest and don't move too much. It'll only slow your recovery.
ありがとう。
Now then, better look for a way out of here.
そうね。でもどうしよう。
Probably work something out on my own, but I couldn't possibly leave Akari behind when she was hurt. Checked the hole where we fell, but it was exceptionally high. The orang was a little rough for us to climb the rock wall, and an injured Akari definitely couldn't pull it off in her current state. Escaping into the ocean from under the water was an idea, but it was the beginning of spring. Water was cold, and diving without proper equipment would be suicidal. I had a staring match with the equipment in my bag, but I didn't have anything else that appeared useful. We're not going to be able to do this on our own. Better settle in and call for help.
そうね。でも誰に？
Aoi. She was still pissed at me, but the situation was what it was. I sincerely doubted Aoi was enough of a monster to abandon her brother in a crisis. Checked my phone, and as expected, didn't get signal this far down. Did have a trick up the sleeve, however. Hold on. I stealthily retrieved that from a backpack and turned my back to Akari and faced the wall. Pretending to put my cell phone up to my ear, I brought that, Uda's Oni mask, up to my mouth. It was equipped with a powerful communication functionality. Okay, I should break the news to her. Without running through my mind, I flipped the transmission switch.
どう？来てくれそう？
Yeah, when I told her I was with you, she said she'd rush right over.
葵ちゃんらしい。
It may take her a while, though. These caverns are pretty intricate. But again, I did leave those glow sticks behind, so I'm sure she'll figure it out.
そうね。
Unless the glow sticks were, you know, fucking smashed by the boulder. The boulder. Anyways. Now she was relieved and the tension had left her, Akari began to shiver, talking this hard. The Enzo Inlet had a warm climate, but this was underground. The temperature was considerably lower than outside. At this rate, it was likely she'd catch cold. Things were going to turn out this way. I wish I'd brought a survival blanket.
何それ？
A thin film of evaporated aluminium that is very well insulated. They even use them in the military.
へえ。確かに今はそれ欲しいわね。
Probably pulled through this by doing some stretches or covering our bodies and keeping our bodies in motion to warm ourselves up, but I couldn't let Akari do that with the leg that way it was. Which meant, not sure if I'll have to go for the body heat method.
ダメ！それはダメ！
Akari blushed bright red and whipped her head side to side. Could you have been imagining some cliched idea with us huddling up naked for warmth? Listen, we're just cuddling up together. No need to take off your clothes or anything.
もちろん分かってるわよ、そんなこと。でもやっぱり恥ずかしいし。
We're both gonna catch colds at this rate, and it could take a while for help to arrive. We'd be lucky if they find us before the day is through.
でも。
Akari was adorable when she fidgeted, but knowing she was so self-conscious made me feel a bit awkward and difficult to follow through. I'll be honest. I won't say I have absolutely no ulterior motive, but I do think it's better for the two of us than the two of us freezing when you have no idea how long it will be kept waiting.
そうね。この寒さで凍死したら困るし。
No, I obviously doubted anyone would freeze to death, save for some extremely extenuating circumstances. Well, that's how it is. Let's see then. What would you say if I hugged you?
分かった。
Put Akari on my knees and held her as she laid sideways. She's not laying sideways now. Her body was surprisingly light. She let out a quiet yelp in my arms. Embarrassing. Too embarrassing. But Akari was beyond the door when she squirmed. Without meaning to, I hugged her a bit tighter than I probably should have.
ケイスケのエッチ密着しすぎだよ。
I could tell you not to make weird noises too. Gonna put me in a weird mood.
妙な気分って？
I mean, don't make me say it, it's embarrassing.
恥ずかしいことをしたくなる気分なんだ。
But I am a man, you know. Cuddling up with a cute girl like this would put anyone in the mood.
どうか、ケイスケのエッチ。でも、あったかい。
Huh? Akari moved my arms down to encircle her stomach and snuggled into my arms.
変なとこ触っちゃダメだからね。
Right. Akari sounded embarrassed, but she didn't seem to hate it. Heart pounded loudly in my chest for a short while when Akari chuckled to herself, seemingly recalling
ケ
something.
イスケに抱っこされるのこれで2度目だね。
I think it's the third.
そうだっけ？
Akari seemed much more comfortable in this position and replied with a giggle. Likely helped that, even though it was dim, it wasn't pitch black in here either. I know. I gotta move for a second. I'll spread these around. Snapped the remaining glow sticks in my pocket and scattered them around us. A plume of faint light illuminated the area. No replacement for real light, but they should serve as a sign for our way to find. Guess we've done everything we possibly can at this point. We have water and food rations. Should be able to manage for 2 days or so without it, with some effort, so don't worry.
そっか。ケイスケ、準備いいよね。サイリウムまで持ってきてて驚いちゃった。
I figured I could leave them as markers for the breaching path of the caverns or use them like this. They're quite handy.
そっか。私、そんな準備なんて何にもしてなかった。ダメだな。
Akari?
なんか最近、ケイスケに頼りっぱなしだね。
The thwomp, Akari's face touched my shoulder.
初めて偽裏の気配に気づいたのはケイスケ。気配の探り方を教えてくれたのもケイスケ。調べ物だってケイスケがいてくれなかったらこんなに早く終わらなかったし、そもそもここにたどり着けなかったかもしれない。今日なんて偽裏に背中を取られるし、無茶して岩の下敷きになるところだったし、それで今はこうやって温めてくれてる。ケイスケがいてくれなかったら私ここで死んでたかも。
It would have been fine even if I weren't here. I was trying to poke a little fun at her, but she shook her head briskly before hanging her head. Tongue is hard. I have to say that a lot today for some reason. Wonder why. Wonder why my arm is so weirdly itchy here.
ごめんねケイスケ。私あなたを守るだなんて言っておいて全然何にもできてない。今日だって全然偽裏の気配に気づけなかったし、うっかり侍もいいところよ。
Don't worry about it. I wanted to go together and I don't regret it one bit. In fact, it's actually been pretty exciting.
でも私ごめんね。ケイスケはいつも一生懸命だったのに、私のうっかりでこんなことになってる。ごめんなさい。私守るって言ったのに、ケイスケとあんなに練習したのに。ケイスケあんなに頑張って私何にもできてなくて。
God, the background change. I think I already said so, but I have this game in window mode because I can't properly record it in full screen because then the massive black borders on the sides will be there. So I can see the background on my desktop. And like suspiciously like right next to Akari and Keisuke hugging was just like massive Reika cleavage from Ditzy Demons Are in Love With Me, which was very distracting after I noticed it. Thankfully it didn't take long for it to switch after I noticed it.
ごめんなさい。
Like I said, don't worry about it. I'm a partner, right? Comet squeezed her even tighter. Sobbing, it turned to wailing, but strangely enough, I didn't feel like trying to stop her. It was like being patient with a lost, crying child. She had burst into tears the moment I reassured her. I was like a kid would in parents' arms. It was likely because she was crying in that childish sort of way to me. It's okay. Go ahead and cry. I remembered once a long time ago where Aoi had gotten lost and started bawling her eyes out the second I found and hugged her. But I just let her cry it out. Like the rain, I was sure it would wash everything away.
ごめんね。なんか思いっきり泣いちゃった。
A short while later, Aki rubbed her eyes and wiped the tears away. Just as I'd expected, her expression was bright and cheery as could be when she lifted her head. She looked pretty refreshed. Alright, now that you sound calm, let's do a quick recap.
反省会?
Right, today you were a super klutzy samurai, even more exceptionally than usual. Let's start with the matter of you getting taken from behind. I didn't notice until moments before either, but you let that fear and surprise overtake you far too easily. I'd assume you know why.
それは、その、
You had something else in your mind, right?
まあ、
It was your mother, right?
違うわよ。
And also, you've been acting kind of off all day, ever since we entered the cab.
違う、そんなことじゃないもん。絶対違う。
What were you thinking about then?
ケイスケには関係ない。
Her honest side all but evaporated. Sure enough, she was impressively hard-headed when it came to anything related to her mom. It might be more accurate to describe it as childish pride. Okay then, what to do? All that straight in her face earned me nothing but stark position. They do say slow and steady wins the race. Maybe I could start by trying to knock down a few walls. Hey, what was your old man like?
何よいきなり。
Oh, you just seemed to really idolize him and made me curious about what kind of a man he was. Wouldn't sitting around in silence until I always showed up be pretty awkward. It's a rare chance for the two of us to talk alone, so let's talk.
まあ、そうね。お父さんは優しくて温かい人だった。いつも忙しそうにしてたけど、晩ご飯はきちんと家族みんなで食べてた。私はその日あったことを得意げに話して、お父さんはそうかってニコニコしながら聞いてくれたの。なかなか休みは取れなかったけど、その分いっぱい遊んでくれた。
She didn't seem as opposed to talking about her father as she was with her mother, and the grim expression she wore had quickly softened. A small nostalgic and affectionate smile spread across her face. Sounds like he was the perfect example of a great father.
私の自慢のお父さんだった。あ、でも危ないことした時はすっごい怒られたな。さっきのケイスケみたいにゴチンって何回かやられたこともあったっけ。
So you've been a tomboy for a long time?
そうかも。お父さんがいた時はうちにいるのが楽しかった。カメラいじりが好きで、家族の写真とか風景とかよく撮ってた。なんだか面白そうで、勝手にカメラいじって壊して怒られたこともあったっけ。
And your klutziness continued on from that
う
point.
るさい。でもそんなお父さんも土蜘との戦いで死んじゃった。必ず帰ってくるって約束してたのに、私にカメラ買ってやるって約束してたのに、形見としてカメラをもらったって嬉しくないよ。お父さんの嘘つき大嫌い。
Monkey's voice trembled slightly. I think that she once said that her father had influenced her to start taking photos too. And I loved your old man, huh?
正確に言うとちょっと違うわ。今でも大好きよ。
I see.
ケイスケのお父さんはどんな人？考古学者だってのは聞いたけど。
Yeah, flies all over Japan. It's all lovey-dovey with my mom, even at their age. Watching them was enough to give you heartburn.
でもいいじゃない。すごく幸せそう。
Yeah, I've seen photos of my mom when she was younger, but she was real beautiful. My father would be pretty happy to snap a lover like that.
そっか。
Right then, this might be the right time to break the ice. So the woman is your mom.
またその話？
I was simply wondering what kind of a person she is. I have to wonder what someone who's rejected so thoroughly could be like. She must have been nice back when, right? You didn't mention it was fun at one point in time.
あなたって本当に細かいところに気づくのね。
Maki did that out of resigned sigh and forced a
お
grimace on her
母さん
face.
も昔は優しい人だった。お父さんも大好きだったけど、お母さんも大好きだった。お父さんが仕事でいない時も、お母さんがいたから寂しくなかったし。家族一緒にネクタルを飲んで、私たちは美味しいって飲んでるのに、お父さんだけ甘って水で薄めて飲んでたりね。
I think I understand exactly how your dad felt.
そんなに甘いかな。
That stuff's rough on ordinary people. Anyway, why did your mom change?
お父さんが死んでからお母さんは変わっちゃった。お父さんの代わりに当主の座についてから家族の時間は消えてしまった。私はうちで一人になった。カナたちが遊びに来てくれたし、学校もあったから昼間はそんなに寂しくなかったけど、お母さんは忙しくてご飯を作ってくれなくなった。晩ご飯は家政婦さんが作ってくれたのを一人で食べてた。お父さんがいた頃の3人一緒の食卓がすごく恋しかったっけ。
So,
お母さんが仕事場から戻ってくるのはいつも私が寝ついた後。でもたまに起きてる時間に帰ってくることはあったの。私はお母さんと一緒にいたくて、学校であったこととか話してたら、お母さんいつの間にか寝ちゃってた。そういう時、お母さんの布団に忍び込んで一緒に眠るのが、あの時の精一杯の甘え方だったような気がする。
she was also worn out from work.
お仕事が大変なんだってのは子供心にも分かっていたわ。寂しかったけど、私もいい子でいるように努めた。手がかからないような子になろうと思って、勉強も運動も頑張った。クラスで一番を取った後は、学校の一番を目指して頑張った。小さい頃はね、まだよく頑張ったねくらいは言ってくれたの。それが嬉しくて、私ももっともっと頑張って。でも、大きくなるにつれて、お母さんは褒めてくれなくなった。吉備宮家の人間ならこれくらいできて当たり前です。もっと努力なさいって言うようになって。初めて言われた時はすごくショックだった。自分の頑張りが足りないんだと思って、もっと頑張った。でも学校で一番になっても褒めてくれなくて、それが当たり前ってやっぱり言うの。何かにつけては吉備宮家のためって、なんだかロボットみたいにそればっかり繰り返して。それでね、私とうとう頭にきて言ってやったの。吉備宮って、そんなに家のことが大事なの？私と吉備宮家のどっちが大事なのって。そしたら、吉備宮家に決まってるって。そのために私たちは存在しているのよって。
That's harsh.
あれもすっごいショックだったな。一晩中泣いたわよ。お母さんはもう私のことを見てないんだって分かっちゃったから。
I doubt there's any kid out there who wouldn't cry when their mother said something that bleak to them.
でもね、お父さんの命日だけは毎年きちんと仕事を休んでくれたの。一緒にお墓参りに行こうって誘ってくれたの。その日だけは普段話さないようなこともいろいろ話して、
See?
まだ私たち繋がってられるのかなって期待した。お父さんが好きっていう気持ちだけは変わらないんだと。でも数年前の命日、お母さんは来なかった。私は夕暮れまで待って一人でお墓参りに行った。お墓の前で日が落ちるまでお母さんを待った。でも家政婦さんが迎えに来ただけで、お母さんはとうとう来なかった。ああ、お母さん 父さんのことまで忘れちゃったんだ。そう思ったら今までの自分がものすごくバカバカしくなったの。どうしてあんな人に期待していたんだろうって。どうしてあんな人に振り向いて欲しかったんだろうって。お母さんは変わってしまった。だから私も変わっていいはず。そう思わせるに十分な出来事だった。本当は何もかも捨てて島を出ようかとも思った。でも私は吉備津彦の血を引く最後の人間。それに命を懸けて島を守ろうとしたお父さんの意志も継ぎたかった。だけどもうあの家にはいたくなかった。あんな冷え切った家にいるくらいなら外に出た方がマシだと思った。吉備津宮家のお母さんの世話にならず一人で生きていこうって。一度決めたら早かったな。進学と同時に寮へ入居を申し込んで、そして今に至るってところよ。ごめんね。なんだか随分話し込んじゃった。こんなこと話したの圭介が初めてかも。
Well, I think this might be a little too heavy a subject to tell people.
ごめん。
To be honest, if it were possible for you to make up with your mom, I'd like you to do so.
それは無理な注文ね。
Sounds like it. However, this just left me even further in the dark. Couldn't possibly imagine that the Maki I knew was the cold-hearted person Akari described. On the other hand, I doubted Akari was lying to me. It led me to believe something had happened between them. Some reason that things were made to turn out this way. Something told me it was best if I heard the two of them out a little bit more. When I was deep in thought, Akari shivered in my arms. Cold?
寒い。でも背中とお腹はとってもあったかい。
I see.
圭介がいてくれてよかった。
Didn't I tell you? I can be useful.
ありがとう、圭介。
Akari softly put her hand on the top of the hand I had on her stomach and clenched tightly.
ねえ、圭介。まだ一緒に偽裏探ししてくれる？
Of course. Way too risky to let a klutzy samurai like you go off on your own.
そうだね。うっかり侍だね、私。
Oh, you're admitting it?
うん。でも、圭介がいてくれるなら、うっかりも怖くない。圭介、頼りにしてる。これからもそばにいてね。
Yeah, count on it. A faint light of glow sticks. That moment in which I saw Akari's eyes waver, felt as if I was being sucked in.
圭介。
Akari shivered slightly and gripped my hand firmly. And Aoi. She gently closed her eyes, seemingly held out her lips. I was pretty sure I wasn't so thick-headed I couldn't tell what that meant. To be honest, I didn't dislike Akari. In fact, she'd been on my mind a ton recently. If it was with Akari, I wondered if it might be okay to kiss her. Softly drew my lips near.
圭介。
Akari. Whoa! His voice was Aoi! If only she'd come 5 minutes later. With that selfish thought on my mind, I waved up at the ceiling. Hey, Aoi, we're over here! Huh? Aoi, stop talking. Huh? Aoi, what's wrong?
二人ともなんでそんなに抱き合って見つめ合って二人とも抱いたんです。
Yeah, I heard Kana and Otome's voices too. Could Aoi have asked him to help with the rescue?
お兄ちゃんたちなんて助けてあげないんだから。
Spider screams. Akari wasn't able to get away from me with her injured foot, so she stayed planted in my arms for a while longer. You know what, after that, I feel like it would fit better to call the part Family Matters. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you next time. Bye. Don't forget that I won't be recording tomorrow. You know, like I said, the D session was moved. Anyways, bye.